Way.
Hello.
Hello, wonderful people. How are you?
Welcome, guys. We're Wicked Game. It's Wednesday, so we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. This is what we do. We're playing our Dungeons and Dragons campaign called the Lighthouse of Eisodos. This is session 4. So if you're new today, don't worry, you're not missing much.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa, Thomas.
That was me, and I didn't mean it, and I'm sorry.
Announcements, just quickly. We're going to be super quick today. Join us tomorrow, me and Michelle, for some dragon aging. Which, if you like Dragon Age, then you'll like it. Also, if you like conversation about literally anything, you'll also like it because, we meander conversationally.
We can talk about anything.
We literally could talk about anything. So there's that. What else have we got? Oh, Michelle has her commissions open. Guys, I'm not kidding. These commissions go so fucking quick. So if you've ever gone, oh yeah, maybe I'll do it next month, get in. You got to get in her DMs because they go real quick. What else? Have we put her details in the...
Doing it now.
Nikki's done it for me. Thank you very much.
Doing it now.
Yeah, ma'am, all right. Our mods are Rooney Runes, Sweet Poison, and Atomic Flash. We love them so much. They're amazing. Thank you for the work that you do, ladies. But also, Rooney has a podcast called, a scripted drama podcast called Starfall. We've had one episode. We're obsessed. We're going to do a listen party on Friday when the next one comes out. I think you're going to like it. I mean, I don't know you, but I think you're going to like it. So get involved.
That'll be in the Discord. Link in the chat.
It will be.
Yeah, if you want to kind of get psyched with us, then come to the Discord. If you want to experience it privately, then you do you. I'm not going to tell you how to listen to podcasts. The music that we use is by Ivan Dutch, and we're always incredibly grateful that there is royalty-free music, specifically like fantasy style D&D music. So thank you, Ivan Dutch. I think that's everything. Oh my God, I really sped through that. I'm so sorry that I did not give things perhaps the time and gravitas that they should have done. But here we are. Nikki, please may you roll the tapes.
Do the thing.
Roll the tape.
Welcome to the Iridian Empire. This sprawling land is led by Emperor Julian II. You do not find us in the hustle and bustle of Iridian cities, with the push and pull of politics and law and order, nor in the dusty plains with the whispered prayers from farmers' lips, nor the treacherous Sierras. You do not find us in the northern jungles, the eastern deserts, or the southern wilds. Today, you find us in the westernmost part of the Iridian Empire. If you were to dust off a very particular and long-forgotten history book, you might read about a powerful arcanist who commanded the very seabed to rise up and form itself into a cluster of idyllic islands as a gift to his beloved and first emperor of Iridia. On the northernmost bluff of these islands, a lighthouse was formed from stone and crystal, a beautiful beacon to all that enter the Empire's waters, reminding them that they are now embraced by the borders of the greatest civilization that has ever been. These islands were named Eisodos din Iridia, or the Mouth of Iridia, but most people just called it Eisodos. Every year a new community was curated to care for the lighthouse and the islands, a dozen or two people that would bask in the paradise of this constructed archipelago. Their only law was that the light must never go out. Your history book might tell you this, and it might even tell you of the rumours of those that returned from the islands blessed and changed. But those are just bard songs and tittle-tattle, and only a fool would take them at face value. For now the year is Epoch of Julian 26, and you could count on one set of hands the people that knew of Eisodos. The centuries have slowly worn the memory of this place from people's minds like etched writing on a lichen-covered tombstone. Each year, fewer and fewer people came to the island, and those employed to recruit found themselves hardly caring, and so we find only 3 caretakers brought for the task. Only 3 lighthouse keepers to farm and maintain and live on Eisodos for a full year. El is a wood elf, with peaceful eyes and a great attachment to his friend Jacques, a crab he saved from a trap. El took this job for his crustacean friend as a treat away from the hubbub of towns and cities. Then there's the beautiful half-elf known as Cece, full of wit and vivacity. It wasn't long ago that she was addressed as Lady Cecilia Arcavia. If you asked her, she might find it hard to explain how she got here, or what happened that day on the ship when she was saved from the brink of death by a mysterious being. And finally, Maverick Spells, known by many as Mav. The dazzling and renowned author has many volumes to his name that could raise your pulse and bring a flush to your cheek. He tells himself he's on a grand writer's retreat, but sometimes Maverick is not completely honest with himself. There is talk of an elderly hermit that wanders a dilapidated temple, a permanent member of the island thought to be a worshipper of Tiesh, the god of tempests. Our lighthouse keepers cannot yet know what the island has in store for them. They only know that they've been promised paradise and a year away from their lives. Lives that, for whatever reason, they left behind. Welcome to Wicked Games, the Lighthouse of Eisodos.
We're back.
So
Hey, gang.
let me tell you, previously on the Lighthouse of Eisodos, our 3 lighthouse keepers have been settling into their life on the archipelagos. And of course, by settling in, I mean that they fought some really terrifying sea creatures that crawled out of the water towards their home and very, very nearly completely killed our resident author, Maverick Spells.
Pretty NVN.
Elle encountered a kind of hostile humanoid elf figure who attacked him and then disappeared into kind of dandelion seeds. And they met a gentleman named Shay, a gentleman Triton named Shay, who admitted, they kind of got to know them, they had dinner, and he admitted that he had encountered them before when they were sailing to the island. And I think that's kind of the easiest way to say so far. But what we are kicking off with is the second half of their downtime. They leveled up and started to think about what they are doing in the first kind of like 20 days to a month on the island. So what I would like is, Elle, why don't we start with you? Tell me a little bit about like what is he focusing on?
I think from like as close to productivity as Elle gets, it's a lot of like gameskeeping the kind of wooded area on the farming island, and hunting and fishing and smoking the kind of portioning and then smoking what's left for kind of storage, because he would much rather hunt game and fish than farm the animals kind of wholesale. I think he's willfully or unintentionally ignoring the fact that come winter they're probably going to get a bit closer to that kind of
You're in winter.
we're in winter.
Oh, we're in it.
So what's
Oh yeah, we are. Sorry,
what kind
sorry,
of farming and fishing like? Not farming, hunting and fishing like. Basically, is his.
Well, because winter just hits different in this place in the world. It is you're sort of about to go into like rainy season, so it's not basically by it being winter means that it's gone into like British heat wave. And it's certain areas actually feel kind of lush, but you don't get a lot of the tropical fruits, and it's kind of all right like that. Like it's not, you don't get these real barren months.
In which case, so yeah, I'm gonna keep the kind of grounds for hunting, and also just kind of like foraging. And I actually think, Lydia, he's going to strip some of the, I don't know if we call it smoke leaf or halfling leaf or whatever you want to call it. I think he's going to strip some of it down to seeds and wildly disperse it through this kind of like wooded area on the farming island so it can grow naturally.
Okay.
At whatever rate it so chooses, but not to kind of like, he's not planning on kind of like cultivating it or anything like that. He is kept enough for like a just a little bit to smoke, but yeah, the kind of lion's share is, and then I don't, unless anyone else.
I mean, I was just going to say on that point, there is, there's as you have kind of imagined, there is a section of the farmland that is dedicated to the smoke leaf, which is not overly fruitful right now, but you can prune it down, and there are in the dry store area seeds and stuff, so you could have done it from either spot.
Maybe some of that, but I don't know, in my head I imagine the stuff he's got is some of that like good halfling, I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to say weed terminology. I know the word kush, but I didn't know if
It's not the, you haven't had smoke leaf of this variety before. It's not, it is much like a lot of things on the island. It has been the same kind of seeds that have kind of evolved just by being their own seeds on the island. They're their own variety and their own strain. So you're kind of like, you're interested to see the differences between stuff that you've like encountered before.
I also don't want to not have the version I have that I brought with me. Like I think it's a kind of a staple. So yeah, I think he's throwing some seeds within the grounds, like not planted it. And I don't know if anyone else is going to get like hella into planting, but I think he's going to do some animal keeping, and like honestly, I think early on he takes a lot of time to do very few jobs. I think it's a real relaxed pace for Elle.
So you're actually you're choosing, because for people watching, whenever there's a downtime, because of the sheer volume of books in the library and the kind of gentle encouragement from the logbooks, and it's not gentle encouragement, it tells you to train yourself in everything that's on the island. It tells you to use the library to learn how to do various things, and Elle is choosing not to.
What about like foraging and stuff?
That is not a weighted question. If Elle's not doing it, Elle's not doing it.
I mean, I think Elle wouldn't. I think Elle can forage, and Elle is willing to kind of spend his free time walking the coast, eating a tomato, and maybe doing a bit of fishing or some like lounging on the back of his best friend, the crab.
His best friend, Mav.
You're kind of aware, seeing as you're doing that kind of work, you're very aware of the fact that there is, I think, because you're doing that kind of foraging and that kind of working there, and you're not necessarily looking at books, you're discovering certain areas on the island that have like carved signage that is indicating to people who would be in charge of lumber, and you're like, I'm not really, that seems like really hard work, but it's like, it's expressing how you might thin areas of woodland, and how you really need to keep on top of it because you need to dry lumber in order for it to be used for ships, and you're like, oh God, some people work so fucking hard. There is one particular day when you are taking a boat over to the other island, you can tell me, but I was imagining because there is a little shrine to the Swift Maiden, and there's good foraging to be had on the Temple Island as well, that you do go there quite a lot. And you're taking a little boat over, and with your passive perception, you hear, and in a kind of split second, you are struck by an arrow.
One arrow.
Well, let us begin this encounter with the first arrow.
Oh, shit off, Lydia.
Fuck me. It's me always trying to read coloured writing with no glasses on. Okay, so the first hit, I did some pre-rolling, and does a 19 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but like, that's that. The second arrow you see is not going to hit you, but it does kind of skew and hit Jax for a 28.
28, Lydia. Yeah, that hits him. My boy.
Okay.
Why are you doing this, Lydia? That's not part of the agreement.
Because you came up with a new slogan that I don't like.
I didn't.
So with that first arrow that hits you, you take 13 points of piercing damage, and there is this like boom as the air around the arrow seems like your vision becomes blurred for a second as this like sonic wave comes out from the arrow that is stuck absolutely in your, like, it's like your solar plexus, like it's straight in, and this boom comes out, and both
It let out a fart.
both you and Jax take an additional 2 force damage.
Okay, how much is the rest of the damage that Jack takes?
The arrow that skewed away from you and hit Jax, he takes 6 piercing damage, and can he make a wisdom?
Dead.
And he also takes 5 psychic damage. Can he then do a wisdom saving throw, please?
Fucking hell, Lydia! If you kill the crab, if you kill this fucking crab, I'll murder you. Wisdom saving throw, you say?
Yes.
Episode 3.
4.
Okay.
Oh no.
The arrow thunk into you. You hear the explosion go out. You look to the side because you can see that force damage has. Jax was like swimming next to the boat as he often does, like helping to nudge the little rowboat in the right direction. And you see that force damage hit him, and then he looks up at you as an arrow comes down under his shell into like the soft part of him, and he starts to his like legs are like wildly flailing in the water, and he is bumping into the side of the boat and like dipping under the water, and is really suddenly sort of struggling to swim, and is confused for sure.
So we're near the coast, right?
You're about 250 feet away from the Temple Island, and you can't see the island that you came from. You can't see the main island.
Lydia. Oh my God, Lydia.
What are you doing?
I'm casting Cure Wounds on Jax.
Okay.
Level 2.
Do you get his own spit out of his mouth?
No, I spit on him.
Oh, is that kind of relationship?
You just sort of see like the his like pale blood like seeping out of the wound as you cast Cure Wounds. The arrow is like pushed out of his flesh.
Can I grab it?
Pardon me?
I want to grab that.
Yeah.
Grab it.
Yeah, that's just going in my bag, not in the same bag that has all of the used arrows. I'm just going to use the oars, and I'm going to use the boat as a lever, and I'm just going to put the paddles under Jacques and just lift up so that he doesn't move downwards while he's confused. So he's like at the surface of the water, struggling.
There's like a moment as you move those oars over when he like flinches away from you. And the oars like coming near him like frighten him, and he sort of tries to hit them, and then he realizes that it's you and you're trying to help. And can you roll an athletics check to see if you can keep him buoyant?
My boy.
Lydia,
fuck you. Athletics, yeah. Athletics is, where's my skill checks? Athletics is a 19.
Okay. It takes pretty much everything you've got. Like you feel like the muscles in your back having to engage, and even like in your legs, like trying to kind of root your legs in this rowboat, because obviously that weight is really going to risk toppling it over, and you kind of struggle. And as you sort of manage to keep him in one place rather than like up. You're not really giving him much leverage because it would pull the boat over.
It's fully just to stop him pushing him, going on deeper under.
And you sort of see his like legs like flailing out, trying to like hold on to the side of the boat, and you notice his eyes are like clouded over a little bit.
Little
Tom's gonna reach through the fucking Zoom call and throttle me, I think.
This is so not nunchuck of you.
it's so not nunchuck of you, Lydia.
I won't have that as a phrase. I will not have it. I'm coming for you next, Mav.
What did I do to be first? Right.
Cool. So you've kind of kept him in place. He is clearly frightened. What else do you do?
How you say I'm 200 feet out, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, hey now, I'm
a rock star.
Get your game on and go play. Hey now, like if y'all don't want me there, you could just say, y'all don't need to be like shooting arrows at me and my boy. Like you back off. And then I suppose I wait. Like I just fucking.
Are you looking?
Yeah.
Roll perception.
Fuck it. Oh, you looking now?
Eyes closed.
Bitch. Heart open though, so I got a fucking 20. Not a natural. A dirty Eisodos 20.
Like talking out to you can see the coastline, and looking out you do see a figure who seems to be pulling another arrow and and like notching it into a longbow, and he does not seem to hear you, but lowers the bow for a minute, and you can see he's gesticulating and talking back, and then he's gone.
Is the arrow? Do I still have the arrow?
Yeah. You want to take a fucking peep at that?
Yeah,
Roll
I fucking
investigation.
Yeah, peep is at that.
I specifically want to be looking at its construction, the elements that are required to make it. But, like I want to effectively deconstruct this arrow.
Or his Heston Blumenthal on this shit.
Yeah.
What am I rolling, Lydia?
Investigation.
Oh, fuck off. Natural 19 plus 0.
Looking at this arrowhead, the thing, it kind of hits you like an arrow to the stomach. This is without a doubt, an arrowhead that was made by your mothers. They've made a lot. They've made a lot, and they put a lot of work into it. It's not their main thing. Obviously, they make weapons, but they make a lot of arrows as well. This is without a doubt made by your mothers. It's old. It's seen some wear. You can see when you look, that's a good roll. So you kind of see within the arrowhead that it has had the stick part
Shaft
taken out and a new one put in, but like the arrowhead is, because that is the bit, your mums, they don't make the stick bit. They make the arrowheads, which is the bit that's so well done. And so they have put, it's the arrowhead that's been kept and new ones have been put in.
I like this.
now. They ain't acting like they know the family, so. Ooh.
Can Jax roll another wisdom saving throw, please?
What?
Oh, Jax.
Lydia?
9.
He's still got cloudy eyes.
Claudia. Now I'm singing, but I ain't happy. I'm going to keeping a hold of Jax as best I can. His claw in hand. I'm going to attempt to move to land with him.
Sorry, that was just such a sweet, like, rowing with one hand, desperately going round in circles, but you're so determined to hold his claw for like, comfort.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get to shore and get him out of the water for a minute. Like, I know he's fine in the water, but, like, I just need
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping his, like, face part above water and blowing bubbles as he kind of uses his other claw as the other claw oar. And you get to the shore of the temple island.
And then out of my bag, I want to pull some of the smoked shark meat that I specifically made to keep as a treat for Jax. And I want to give him some. And I just want to, like, rub his, like, chitin. And just kind of, like, we're going to sit in the sand, Lydia, as long as this takes for my boy to feel better.
He sort of sadly pushes that shark meat into his mouth and gains some comfort from the taste and flavor of it. And can you roll another wisdom save? I know it's been quite a lot, but just in fact, don't bother rolling another wisdom save. His eyes he's don't bother. He's gone. Let him go. No, he pretty much by the time it takes a while to get to the shoreline, and once you get there, that cloudiness has like dissipated a little bit, and he's, you see his shell like moving up and down, and he's a bit shaky, but he's the smoked shark is doing a power of good.
Hey, bud. Oh, God. Now, these are supposed to be... So, my mom's done made these, and now someone's using them to try and, off me? Or maybe it's a message? It's an awful aggressive message, if it is one. It's like... I don't know. We're gonna head over to Av's, the Swift Maiden's shrine.
I was going to say, as you're saying that and like talking, trying to sort of figure it out, Jacques like finishes like the bit of smoke meat and sort of looks at you and then just takes off in the direction of the shrine.
Cool. When we get to the shrine, as always, I'm going to take out the arrows that I've used to slay any either large fish if I've been arrow fishing or any game. And I'm going to put them onto the shrine. And then, is that little carved crab still there?
It is. On top of that, roll perception. It doesn't need to be a lot. I mean, I know you'll always roll a lot, but like...
Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
The broken arrows that you placed last time have been fixed.
Now.
And the crab figurine made out of wood is there. In fact, Jax like picks it up.
I'll grab it. And just be like, now, this feels an awful lot like someone's watching. Now, I don't know what you've said to anyone, Jax, but they don't seem to be a fan of yours, and I know you can be snippy, but can I inspect it? Is it just made of... Can I roll a nature check and see if the wood is native to this island?
Yeah, roll a nature check.
25.
It, seeing as you have talked about how much you foraged, you feel pretty confident about what is native to these islands by now. And you feel extremely confident that this is wood from a fig tree that is on the islands. And it's a really, really old fig tree, one of those that kind of like has propagated itself by its branches touching the soil and becoming another tree and sort of growing outwards. And fig trees is quite soft wood, so it doesn't make for very good whittling. But this has been whittling, but this has been specifically like treated and hardened, and it is kind of great workmanship. You know, it's extremely detailed and
okay.
Yeah, hardy for something that's very small and delicate.
Can I look? Are there any footsteps on the ground that don't belong to me or Jax?
Roll survival.
Dirty 20.
No.
Eisodos 20. There's none.
There's none.
Fuck. Now. I'm going to have to speak to the others about this because I can't make head nor tail. Sorry. I can't make leg nor claw of this. And then I think we're going to take the crab thing, leave the... Fuck, they're so fucked. I've got arrows made by my mums.
I really love when Nikki is a little bit stumped on what's happening because it happens very rarely. And it's a real satisfying moment to watch Nikki go, I don't know what's happening, and that frustrates me.
It does, it definitely does.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. And I hate it. We're gonna head home.
Okay.
And I think the intention would be to speak to Mav and Cece about it over dinner, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, bearing in mind that they are two chatty people, I think his intention would be to, right, so if I'm going to get their attention, I do sort of need to lay on a bit of a spread. Because I feel like...
You have to lure us into conversation.
I feel like when you two are chatting, it's like that that guy at the party meme, like the holding the cup in the corner, being like,
they don't know that I keep getting shot by an arrow.
They don't know ghosts are hunting me with the arrows made by my mothers. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the, at least in the early like days and weeks of the island, like that's kind of the vibe, like you two talking about everything outside, and he's just sort of like.
So it's funny you should say that about putting on a spread, because I think that might be like I don't want to steer the story at all, but if you do like come back, I think
Big if.
I think Mav is starting to sort of get into like full kind of housewife mode in almost in a way to kind of, like, when there's shit, like if you work in a bar or something, you know the jobs that you like, and therefore the jobs that you take more time in doing and more effort doing.
And if you offer to do jobs first, you get to do the fun ones.
Exactly.
So you don't end up cleaning up
someone else does the stuff that you don't want to do. That's kind of what he's sort of doing, like towards, like in the first sort of couple of weeks, I'd say. Like it's very much like oh, have you got a tear in your shirt? I can fix that. That's okay. And with the amount of kind of like going to restaurants and being that sort of semi-celebrity who gets to go into the kitchen and sort of and learn how to make the special and stuff like that. I think he has a rough idea of kind of cooking, but it's all very, very fancy and sort of not particularly practical cooking. So
Lydia disagrees because she's walked off.
Yeah. Lydia's gone. She's fully boycotting this idea.
Is Merv like?
I'm right here. My light just went out. That's all.
Mainly staying like in the like doing a lot of the jobs that require being around the house.
Yeah, I think like we'll go into it when it's sort of my turn, I guess. But this, like, it was just kind of apt at this moment to say. I think he's kind of basically what I'm saying is you come back to a sort of ridiculously kind of over the top meal. Like you've got pureed sort of carrot, and you've got sort of like
almond foam.
Like such, and this is the thing. Elle would absolutely go, fuck me, what are you doing here? Just make a stock.
Cece's loving it. Pureed carrot, my favourite.
Yeah. Like
you can just mash that, and it takes about half the time.
Like you've with one of the sort of sea bream that you've or a couple of the sea bream that you've like lovingly brought back for us. I've kind of taken a chunk out of like directly in the middle of the fish, like on both sides, and then just chucked the rest of it and stuff like that. Like
every glass of water that you drink has a tiny like sprig of like thyme and rosemary, like borage flowers for flavor in them, all like with a tiny little string bow.
So you basically come back to
a rustic wedding.
To yeah, exactly that. I've made dinner. I hope it
sweet.
Satisfies. I don't know quite where young Cece is currently, but I'm sure she'll be around. I'm sure she'll be around.
Ma'am, I'm right behind you.
Oh, jeez.
She was putting her gown on.
Yeah, I was just finding my fancy clothes. I only bought one dress. Is this okay? I imagine she's bought a ridiculously fancy ball gown. Just one.
Didn't know how many balls you'll be attending.
You never know.
Well, I have.
Always got to be prepared.
I have what I'm wearing now, and I bought.
Okay.
I was gifted a shirt about 200 years ago that I've got with me that I've not worn yet.
Well, that's quite all right. I've just got to take seats. I've just got to plate up the scallops.
Cece's ball gown has like it's gone with the wind hoops in the skirt. It takes some negotiating to sit down.
She's really far away from the table, like she can't tuck herself in. This is fine. Like really puffy sleeves as well.
For reference as well, Elle's like bed is in the little like roofless courtyard bit.
Oh, you're sleeping outside.
He sleeps next to the little water pool, and Jacques sleeps in the little like middle water pool.
When he's 800 or 900, his back is not going to love him for that. But right now, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he just likes sleeping as close to nature as possible.
If you'd like to take a seat, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
and Mav sort of runs back to the kitchen, grabs a couple of plates, and comes back and sort of says, "Now these are scallops with a white wine jus. At least I thought it was white wine. It smelled a little bit funky, but it's fine. It's fine. It tastes
Pit cross. It's like white spirit.
He's made of vinegar jus.
I love the fact that Mav is one of the only people in Maradia that doesn't know what Picross is.
No, he absolutely wouldn't know what it was. Yeah,
because it's not high class enough. But yeah, so the starter is kind of scallops on a piece of crusty sort of loaf. It's got a small amount of kind of tapenade type stuff from the olives that were like not pickling, but that were oiling kind of in oil down in the cellar. You could like, I'm sure, Elle, you can see like the sheer amount of shit that's gone into this, and like thereby it is the sheer amount of waste that has.
He is burning through your dry stock. Yeah.
I hope you enjoy. Elle, just so you are aware, you go out in cutlery, out in. Okay.
Cece's demonstrating whenever Mav's like talking through stuff. Cece's like, yep, it's like yep.
It's hands. It's full hands.
Oh, that looks quite fun, actually.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard. I've been meaning to
at this point.
I think a ghost has been trying to kill me on the other island, and there's been an interesting development because this time the ghost used...
There's a ghost?
I mean, maybe they disappeared into sunflower dandelion seeds last time, and when they jumped and they stabbed me in the chest with a ghost sword, but it's still like, it's actually like a thing. And then this time they fired magical arrows at me and Jacques. Jacques nearly drowned, and it in sort of kind of like, forget about all of that part though. What's really kind of like, wrecking my noodle is they're using the arrows my moms make, which I like. I'm not like y'all's. Like, I don't live a life of means and such, but I mean, they ain't cheap. So if you're fixing to shoot one, you better be hoping to kill. And I now have 2 of them.
Oh my goodness! You actually have them.
Yeah, look, I lift up my shirt to reveal like the still seeping wound.
Oh my goodness, Elle! I was
There's like pus coming out of it because he hasn't healed himself all day.
Oh, I'm really.
I washed it
sorry.
off with a bit of salt water. How they?
I was gonna ask, you know, have you been maybe smoking a bit too much of your smoke leaf? But like, oh shit, that looks.
No,
shot you.
This is not. No, I've been, myself and Jacques got hit with it. That these arrows, which are specifically made by my mom's, which is worrying just because of, you know,
Would I? Wait, who are your mums?
fuck, I can't remember their names.
Would Cece know of them?
Roll history.
Lydia, I can't remember if I told you their names. And I can't remember their names.
You did. I haven't got them on the page, and you know it takes me 30 fucking minutes to load a Google Drive when the.
Oh, it's in the doc. It's in the Google Doc, right? I'll pull it up.
21.
You do not.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sorry. So tell me something, Elle. You say that they used your mother's arrows. That could be 2 things in my mind. That could be incredibly coincidental, or absolutely run of the mill. I don't know who your mothers are. I apologize. Could you elucidate me potentially?
Yeah, their names are. Fuck.
Lovely names. I
I
love those.
genuinely
names.
can't remember it, and I can't find where I put it. Fuck.
Oh, I might actually have it in my OneNote. Hang on a second.
Yeah, because I think I actually just messaged it to you, and I did not.
No. It's in my OneNote. Hang on.
So
Yeah, they make
do they make a lot though? You know, is it like so? You said
Right.
that.
no. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, but it's sort of like how Cece, you're like, I've got so much time, and it's like an hour, and then I'm like, what happened? And it's been an hour.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like they make a lot compared to maybe some other elves, but they don't make a lot compared to like some more prolific Fletchers or bow makers or kind of like weaponsmiths. It's not
So
it's
so
like
the prospect of this ghost, or perhaps the same witch as before, having hold of your mother's arrows is something of an issue, one could say.
I mean, issue versus kind of like summon. So now them having it is supposedly not really kind of my kind of like issue or it's more that they shot me with it, which feels kind of like barbed in a way that feels deliberate.
Oh, do you think they know who you are? Was it like a one? Or couldn't it not just be that they
I'm gonna
have
be
these arrows and they don't know who you are?
these are not cheap.
Oh,
And
okay.
these aren't the sort of arrow that you fire intending to kind of like let them walk away. These aren't arrows for war necessarily, unless you consider yourself some kind of sharpshooter. These are hunting implements. They're meant to be retrieved, and now I have two of them.
So you think this person is hunting you? But wait, there is just someone else on this island.
Well,
I think
they're
that's the point that I was
it's
just about to.
it's either one or two so far, kind of like dandelion seed ghosts, but that's not the
But
they
is-
shot Jax.
Is he okay?
Oh, that's not. Yeah.
I mean, he nearly wasn't, but he's fine now. He's just sort of like in the water holding two scallops doing this.
Oh. Right. Well,
Is that
what do we
normal
do?
behavior?
Oh,
Yeah.
he sometimes he does a little dance when he's hungry.
Okay.
I know that feeling.
And I sort of I go into my
Like
little
gratification.
a little bag on the back of my seat and grab a tiny and kind of go, Jax, open up,
No.
Um,
and throw it in his mouth. Oh, there you go. He loved them so much.
Terrible toothless maw opens up, and can you roll me a ranged attack?
Oh, absolutely. The weak ass jelly arm fucking underarm throw that is. Hold on. I'll just go unarmed strike. Here we go. It's not going to be much better than that. That was a cheeky little 10.
It skews way wide of going straight down Jacques' gullet, but in the excitement, he drops both scallops and like scuttles after the tani, picks it up and like pushes it into his mouth, and the sticky bit ends of it like get on both his claws that kind of pull out like a kind of terrible spaghetti Lady in the Tramp situation. And then as he's like takes a long time to chew that, he scuttles back to the well and starts with his sticky sweet hand starts trying to fish out the scallops, but they're in the water, so he just keeps kind of slicing through them. You got a scallop well now, I'm afraid to say.
Oh.
I think Mav, watching Elle's dismay at me giving treats to his boy, is just sort of chortling to himself, just a real sort of.
Now you gotta be we had this issue when we stayed with the halflings. You gotta keep him away from the confectionery. It's just
Oh, we can have a treat, can't he?
it's not.
He loves them so much. You can see it in his face. Please, it's fine.
He's now got the zoomies.
It's just
Right. So this person who shot you, what do they look
well,
like?
they're like a dandelion ghost.
Okay, what have you spoken to Elska?
Who?
Elska, you know, she lives on the West Island.
I'm talking about the West Island where the ghost made of dandelion seeds has been shooting me and stabbing me.
Look, here's the thing. When I first met Elska, she, not exactly her, but like I did get shot with like darts and stuff, and she did hit me a lot with her her staff. So
is the staff like something that your mother, who you've not seen, or your mothers who you've not seen in like hundreds of years, made?
No, my mother wasn't very good at making stuff.
Well, don't say that. She made you.
She did.
Can I steal that, please? That's a wonderful line, please.
What? What y'all mean? What?
Okay, so, but what do we do? Mav?
So, I believe it boils down to this. Do you have any jilted lovers, adversaries from a past life, people who might want you dead, who might go to quite literally the ends of the earth to
No, I find myself mostly in agreeable situations.
Are you being like hunted?
Nope.
Well, there you are. The only logical explanation is that we have angered the witch by simply being here, and we must either run or defeat the hag.
I don't know if I want to defeat her.
I feel like y'all are missing the fact that it's some kind of dandelion ghost and not a witch.
Oh, have you ever seen the magical the mystical prowess of a fully fledged witch? I mean, I haven't either, but I can only imagine. I can only imagine that dandelion ghosts are well in their remit.
Dandelion ghosts.
It was like a dandelion, like, you know how when you pick up a dandelion, you go, it was like that, but it was a man. And he went, but instead of me going, he stabbed me in the chest with a sword.
Wait, he stabbed you in the chest?
Yeah, that was the other time.
Wait,
Also, somebody made this, and I just put out the little wooden crab. And
oh, it's a little Jax.
Yeah, but who knows
Jax
him?
comes running. He's been doing circuits around the balcony, and he just comes in and he's super focused on the little crab.
Oh, it's what if it's like a little crab for the crab?
No, my issue is I don't know who made this. Jax is not a native of this island, and also is a crab. I don't think there were any crabs last time, and this was here when we got here, or at least very soon after.
Lydia, I would like to, whilst the conversation is continuing, looking at the crab and kind of hearing that it was of the same ilk as fucking dandelion ghosts. It's sort of said in the same sentence. I think I'm gonna grab my little notebook and start making notes and ritual cast detect magic, please.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything from said crab?
No.
Or anything else in the room?
Not in the room as such. No.
Okay.
What's the range on that?
Bear with me 2
30
seconds.
feet, I think.
I'm holding it away. You can't. I think Elle's gonna go. Oh, maybe we just need to see if any of the guys that were here before had a whittling knife.
Oh yeah, it's just a crab.
Where's all the stuff we took? I think Elle's gonna get up and in the middle of dinner and just run off to where all that equipment that we was.
Yeah.
And he's gonna just bring it all out.
In that pile, there's a lot of knives that you could whistle with. There's a lot.
Down on the dinner table.
Oh no! Oh, we put a knife
Half
in
an
my
odds, fuck.
water.
I'll just cover the main in the kitchen. Sorry.
Jax has got the little cloche on his head. He's going.
There's a lot of whittling knives. There's and there are in the homestead.
Lots of whittling knives, Lydia.
Yeah. At least at some point, let me put it this way. You put all of the equipment in the equipment room with all the rusty basic stuff. There in there, along with, you know, basically everybody that's ever stayed on the island has always had a whittling knife in their pocket. So there's sort of a lot hanging around in various tool sheds. There's always like one hanging around in the kitchen. There's as you took stuff off people, it was just those sort of like, you know, you got one off each body.
Now, I mean, I didn't expect a lot of things, but there's so many gosh dang knives in this place. It's awful inconvenient. It's just throwing another knife into the knife pile.
Might it? I know we've got a lot of work to do, and I am well aware that you were with Jax at the time, but might it be an idea for us to, for the time being, go around in pairs of speaking roles? I feel as though you have seen something that we frankly have not, and I don't know what I can do with that information.
Well, I mean, everyone's seen something that someone ain't. Like, the world is unique to your eyes.
Very philosophical, but I think you're missing the point, my good man.
That's got to be written on his gravestone.
Very philosophical, but missing the point.
I don't think we fully understand this island. I think that's been made abundantly clear in the past. God, how long has it been now?
Dandelion ghosts are normal here.
Perhaps they are, and we just need to.
Where are they getting? I feel like we're missing the point that there's 2 arrows made by my moms.
Is it your mum? Did they come? Are they, you know, maybe?
My moms ain't dead. I mean,
actually, no. I'm sure they're fine.
I mean, it's been a while. I mean, it's been what?
But it could be anyone, right? Like.
I mean, it's gotta have been like 300 years at this point.
What's 300 years? Last time you saw your mothers?
Yeah? No. It just went by so quick.
People lived and died in that time.
I feel as though, much like in Blue Clues, my...
You cannot make Blue's Clues a sex thing. You absolutely cannot make Blue's Clues a sex thing.
Blue's Clues your attempt at a kid's book?
My attempt at... my attempt at true crime. I feel as though, or blue crime.
New from Mills and Boone. Millie and Boonies, the children's books.
I feel as though we are merely at step 1, clue number 1 of our adventure. I think this is worrying, disconcerting, certainly, but I don't feel as though.
Lydia?
Yeah.
Do followers of Av carve totems of things they're hunting?
Roll religion.
What did you say? I missed that. Sorry.
They carve totems of something that they're hunting.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't think Elle's ever really had like a Moby Dick-esque like hunt. I mean, it's time for my first natural 20 of the night.
Here's the thing. With your breadth of knowledge on Av and your scope of where you've traveled, what a natural 20 gets you in this particular,
It's fully fuck all.
is that not in the areas that you've traveled through, but you are very aware that there are you know, that in other areas of the world, people, with the way that people worship kind of translates slightly differently. You know for sure that the thing of like leaving hunting materials at shrines is common everywhere, but then there are like local pockets of different worship, but you couldn't say with any certainty that this is a particular thing.
Does it feel ritualistic in nature? Like, I know whittling's like a pastime thing, but also it's like, it's meditative, and it's, people tend to whittle what's on their mind when they're like not thinking. So it feels intense.
I believe that you rolled quite well for your investigation when you looked at it before. So I'm going to just take it from that rather than making you like re-roll constantly. And I'm going to say this, it is extremely artistic. It doesn't have the feel of somebody who is like carving out of anger and like determination and focus to like hunt something down. It, you know, like the thing that you know about the wood, that this wood is normally soft, they would have had to have aged it and treated it, and or not necessarily aged and treated it, but chosen a piece of wood that is,
and like, it's layers and layers and layers of like varnish and coating and whatnot.
Yeah, and oiling, and like this was also not something that somebody while they're snoozing, like sunbathing on a beach, would have made. It is something that has taken time and fixation and artistry to create.
What if maybe someone covets my crab?
You should, I don't know, but look, I think you should ask Elska, okay? Like,
is this the witch?
Yeah, I feel a bit bad calling her a witch now. I think I just had a bad encounter. Like,
I think Mav has taken the starters and from the kitchen goes, if she's the witch, don't say her name out loud. As he starts bringing through the sort of main, which is like, as I said, the fillet of sea bream on like a bed of kind of, you know, like a radish kind of salad with at least 3 of the lemons that have been kind of lovingly kept in a barrel somewhere, squeezed over the top of it. Pea puree on one side, and like a sort of crispy bit of sort of like
Sapphire.
Parsnip crackling kind of almost on the top. It comes out in like a real kind of ta-da kind of moment, and I put it down.
Elle looks at you like you've like he's going, oh, that's real good, bud. Like you done real. This is real. This is.
Darling, it's nothing. There's a fantastic little bistro that I attend sometimes, and
are they? Is it like a community support thing? Like, I feel like it's good though. It's good. I mean, I'm just saying personally. I think I probably would have used more of the fish. I feel like you're missing.
Oh,
quite a lot
no!
of meat.
That's the thing. Malvolo, the chef, he says you only need a small amount. It's about portion size.
Exactly.
It's about making the. I don't know. When you come to Grand Lee, you'll have to come and join us.
The
It'll
capital?
be fantastic. Oh yes, darling.
I mean, I probably won't. But I appreciate the offer. The hospitality is awful kind. But, I mean, I don't think there's a lot for folks like us there.
Oh, well, that's quite all right. Dig in. Sorry, you were saying.
yes, so I'm not allowed to say her name. Is that right?
If she's the witch,
Okay,
do not say her name, please.
Okay.
They can hear it.
Okay, you should go speak to the witch.
What if her name is the witch? And
What if her name is the witch, Mav? We should give her like a code name.
but what if that's her name? And it's like one of those riddles where you're like, it's my true name.
I don't make
I
the
bet
rules.
It's like Barbara or something.
He's quite literally told you her name.
Yeah, no, I know. Maybe, I don't think she's a witch. I think she's just like a.
Well, I mean, maybe
Anyway,
I'll
she lives on this island, right, all the time. So, you know, if in the very least she could go, in all my years of living here, I've never seen a dandelion ghost. Then, you know, we can maybe like start cutting down on how much you're smoking and stuff.
I mean, I ain't smoking that much. I feel like
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying.
I feel like of all of us, I have like maybe the least damaging attachments to what the things we did prior.
I do not know what you mean. Same time, same place tonight. I think.
Was that to Jacques?
I think Cece's right. I think it's probably better to speak to those who, who know the place more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to go over, but you know,
just there's lots of traps outside her house.
I mean, it's fine.
And she will make you drink like gross water. Don't drink it.
I mean, I just wouldn't, or I would, and I'd be okay with it. I you know, water's water.
Oh, you
water.
Or when it's got dirt in it.
You wild man.
I think, you know, the rest of the evening, unless there's anything that you particularly need to like converse with each other, the rest of the evening.
Vital importance. The dessert comes out and it's a creme brulee, and I set it down in front of both of you, and I take the first bite and go, no, that's definitely mayonnaise. Don't eat. Sorry, that's I that was I apologize. That one is indeed on me.
No. Oh, it hit me right at the back of the throat. I felt it viscerally.
Oh, a fucking bruleed mayonnaise cake, just fucking Jacques. When you say that, Jacques just goes.
Just slide it down the table.
Sort of like you would into a bin. I just kind of like flick it into his mouth. Kind of like, blip, blip, blip.
Oh God. So having you know what? I can't decide who to go next. Do you have a preference? No, wait. I need to do this.
Can I do a thing before the day's over, or are you doing something in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, and in the evening, I think kind of around, seeing that Cece came in, I assume Cece's on Lighthouse duty at the moment.
Yeah, she'll come. Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying Cece can't be there. I'm just.
No, she'll go.
I think
she's still in her ball gown.
Yeah, in the lighthouse by herself, dancing around the top. Oh, that's really sad.
That's really
oh.
We always do this to ourselves. We like walk ourselves into the saddest, like.
Lydia,
like,
you don't get to say we. You nearly killed my fucking crab. You're not one of us anymore.
Only on Wicked Game does that sentence make any fucking sense at all. Lydia, you say we. You nearly killed my crab.
Don't kill my crab, Lydia. Yeah, I think Elle and Mav are probably gonna sit outside and very quietly smoke the last of Elle's like smoke leaf equivalent, like this like halfling leaf he's got. I think it's probably the last of what he has, and I think they're just gonna probably smoke in quiet. I think Jax is up at the lighthouse with Cece. Obviously not up the stairs because he can't get up there, but just after the attack, I think when someone's at the lighthouse, we've been trying to like have someone, like two people sleep in the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think as you say, I think Mav is absolutely there in. I think, you know, over the course of our time together, I think this kind of amicable silence is exactly what Elle and Mav sort of have, like that kind of, we don't know, we don't come from each other's worlds, but we've got that kind of two old men.
Yeah, it's real like
situation.
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, it's like I think Mav has kind of made some sort of like not cocktails, but like has made a little kind of evening nip kind of thing using some of the mint and some of the like a little bit of honey.
I feel like Mav's the kind of guy who gets really angry when he's served a screwdriver, which is literally just a shot of vodka with orange juice, and he's like, no, this is not a cocktail. Fuck off. And it's like has to have like mint or like there has to be a process involved.
There's like it's a mix of the sort of the aromatics, the alcohol, and a little bit of like a fruit kind of element. And I think he offers one to Elle every night. Whether Elle takes it or not, I don't. It's up to him. But
Cece's in the house, like literally on the other side of a window, just watching them going. I mean, I guess fuck me. I don't know, like...
It's full misogyny. Full misogyny, and I'm so sorry about that.
In a ball gown, like drinking our own martini going, I see it, don't worry.
Does Cece smoke?
She might.
That's fully the sentence of someone who does not smoke, could not smoke, but just doesn't like being left out.
Yeah, can I take a toke, please? Mayest I have one toke for me?
Can I grab a leaf? It just reaches into the hot end of the pipe. Oh, fuck.
Right. Okay. So moving on from that, Cece, tell me about. This is now from that point. We're like rewinding.
Oh, okay.
So what have you been doing with your downtime?
So I think Cece feels most out of her depth with all of this stuff. So she's sort of doing a thing of sort of imitating Elle a bit and asking Mav what she should do. But I think if she can find books on like the farming, like the plants and stuff, and I think she likes being outside. I think if she can find a book that gives her like, okay, so you need to plant these like this, and then like make sure they look like this. So she's probably doing that. And I also think she's taken up to swimming quite a lot in the bay. I think there's a part of her that's hoping Joltish will turn up and say hi, or like maybe Shay will turn up with his sister.
But it's just Jax.
Sometimes it's just Jax, and she's just sort of. I don't think Cece's ever really swum a lot in her life.
Jax has just got you by the hands and you're kicking your legs.
she can swim, but I imagine it's been a lot of
pools.
Yeah, like lounging by a pool and not actually, and like a lot of like, oh, I can't get my hair wet because whatever. Whereas it's like a different thing. So I think.
You came here with impractical swimwear, didn't you? It's fucking cut out, like, or you know, a sort of cut out swimming costume, and it is really pinching now when you're trying to do practical swimming.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not meant for swimming, like at all.
So just circling back to like the farming stuff, what you quickly realize when you like cross-reference essentially like the dummy's guide to self-sufficiency and cross-referencing that with logs that show what people were planting this time last year and so on and so forth, you get a really clear understanding that you're in a bit of a fix because the winter barley hasn't been sown, which is a big job. And there are like pumpkins rotting in the ground because they haven't been harvested. A lot of the fruit, like the pears and the apples, fell from the trees, and there's like this influx of like wasps, which is an issue. We'll circle back to that, but there are like essentially certain things haven't been sown, certain things haven't been harvested, and it's causing like an imbalance here, there, and everywhere. So you kind of realize that you need to put your back into just catching up.
Yeah.
And you do a little bit of that, and that is, so essentially you rolling to see if you can learn how to do deep sea diving, get proficient in that.
Yeah, so yeah, I think so. Because we were saying that like she can like gather resources and stuff.
Perfect.
So, yes.
Let me please have 3 rolls.
Yes. Do you want them one after the other?
Deep diving is using wait, let me check because I wrote it down. Yeah, you can use Dex if you want to.
I think you said Dex because I remember thinking, okay, that's not one of my
for while she's doing that, let me explain. We're doing a thing here where you can use your downtime to get proficiencies or get skills or get languages or to be able to use toolkits, whatever. Because they've got a really good library and they've got time to spare. So you roll 3 times using the appropriate modifier, and you get the average from those 3 rolls. The average has to be over 13. And if you succeed, then you have a half proficiency with a max out at proficiency and a half. Crunch, okay. How'd you do?
So not like in this order, but I rolled a 15, 16, and 17.
Okay.
Only good rolls here.
So I'd say like you start off like swimming a little bit in just the bay area. Like the water is actually extremely warm, and it is you find equipment when you're like rummaging through the house and the like sheds nearby that has snorkeling equipment, and so you can just like do that kind of like tourist snorkeling stuff, swimming around the bay. And there is a sort of small coral reef and particular like fish that don't really look like deep ocean fish, like they wouldn't thrive in the middle of the ocean. These are very much like the wildlife that you find in shallow waters that are, it is its own ecosystem is what I'm saying, essentially. The bay is its own ecosystem and it's really beautiful. And you begin to discover that while you're like teaching this to yourself, which is, in its own way, a little frightening because, you're sort of a lot of learning to do this stuff is about, once you get rid of the snorkel, is about teaching yourself about holding your breath. So one of the things that comes with proficiency in deep sea diving, seeing as it's not a thing that is on D&D Beyond, is you now can, when you're holding your breath, normally in D&D, it is 1 plus your constitution modifier. Now that you have this level of proficiency, you can also add your proficiency bonus to those onto the minutes. So it's 1 plus your proficiency modifier plus your constitution modifier, and that is like relevant to the fact that you are practicing every day every day you're practicing holding your breath for maximum amount of time and like not to panic and what it means to like use your body more, which uses up the oxygen. Like this is what deep sea diving proficiency kind of gets you.
I think I have to say though, I think she doesn't realize that's what she's doing. Like, I love Cece, but I think she almost like forgets to breathe, and like that's how she starts getting really good at it. And then she's just suddenly like, oh shit, like I can't breathe, and then she scrambles to the surface, or Jax just like pushes her up, like as she's like, she's stop breathing.
So Jax is with you sometimes, but this is prior to that conversation about, it's prior to him getting shot. But he's with you sometimes, but actually, funnily enough, one of your main companions while you're learning to do this is the albatross, who, when you were like first like doing the snorkeling in the bay, the albatross would come and like watch you from the shore a little bit. And then sometimes as you're snorkeling, just like a duck next to you, like swimming sort of. And the look is so haughty, like it's the biggest fucking bird ever. But as it sort of passes you each time, the look is, you can't quite figure out whether it is confusion or condescension or what, but it's you just try and like ignore it, but it seems to be like this constant companion.
Oh, that's cute. All
So now I believe I had a bit of a look at your constitution. Previously, you could have held your breath for 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because 1 plus con mod. But now you can hold your breath for 6 minutes.
My God, Cece's got a fucking set on her.
Yeah.
Of lungs.
You can hold it for 6 minutes, and once 6 minutes is up, you have 2 rounds before you're dead. Cool. That's the suffocation rules, is 6 minutes, and then you have 2 rounds before you're at 0 hit points. Cool. You need to know that. Okay, cool.
Shit.
So you start with put your
glasses on, lads. Have you written something in fuchsia pink again?
I've muted the pink.
Okay.
Pink is muted. It was kind of, I put the green was so bright for L's section. This is more muted. I'm looking at the red that I've done for Mav, and I just hate myself for what I've done.
There are other ways to do this, but
okay, so you've got to know the coral reef in the bay, and that was like the sort of beginning of everything, and realizing, I'm not going to sort of tell you what your character's thinking, but there is, it's extremely beautiful, and you are very good at this kind of quickly. And one of the things that you realize the moment that you start pushing your way out and like pushing away from your comfort zone and into the deeper water, is that the island is unexpected, to say the least. Like it is, it's not like a landmass where you've got like the coastal bit and then it sort of comes out. You start to swim out and you look down and you realize that there's a little bit of coast, and then actually it's kind of like a bulb, like it goes down, like the seabed was pulled up, and that, wait, I have actually written this in a way that is more, don't try and busk it, Lids, you're never good at that. Did I?
So it's like, is it like a bulb floating in the island, or is there like a bit like attached to?
It is a network of spiraling ocean bed, like a thick stem with caves in it and tendrils reaching out that then become the other islands.
Really stress Michelle out if she saw this in real life.
Yeah, like the thought of it is stressing me out. But I love it.
I love it. I really love that. That's great.
So like trypophobia or whatever it is?
No, it's not the holes. It's just the deep ocean. It's just the thought
Thalassophobia.
of like that really nice shallow coral reef area to just endless nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a day when you first realize this, you swim out and it takes by surprise because the water temperature changes just like that. The water's suddenly freezing and the tide is hard work. And as you swim down, you realize this beautiful kind of spiraling seabed that has corals and kelp like growing out of it, and there are alcoves and caves that go through from underneath. There's like an entire sort of I don't know how else to say it other than like a network of not just alcoves and caves but spiraling bits that kind of come out to create all the little tiny islands that just pop up are all like spiraling off this one stem, and in these little alcoves you discover some of them that are like nearer the surface. Some of the little alcoves like have these beautiful salt deposits in them, salt deposits that have this like multifaceted, multicolored, like they refract light. And as you like scrape away and pick at it, you realize that it's got this incredible mild, almost sweet flavor to it. It has like it's very specific salt to the island, and etched into the into the stone next to it are instructions about harvesting the salt. And that don't take too much and take it from here, there, and blah, 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 and all of that. And other alcoves that have like cockles and mussels and other sorts of things that have their little bed, their little area of underneath the island that you pick and harvest. And so you're realizing that it's an exceptionally useful thing to be able to do this, because the stuff that you can forage from underwater is incredible, as well as kelps and other seaweeds and like fauna from the water.
Fauna from the water.
Okay, so I can like, this is a really good place to forage for stuff.
Yeah. There is like one particular time when you're sort of enjoying this new role that you found for yourself of like, with the day that you come back with the new salt harvest and you're showing it to everybody, you're like, feel so sort of like, and then you're loving this kind of thing. And on one day when you're diving and just looking to see what other things you can discover in the caves, and realizing how long you can hold your breath for. I just want to remind myself what your passive perception is. It still 10 since the level up, your passive perception?
Yeah.
Better than mine.
What's yours?
8.
Dude.
We've been hunted by ghosts as well. We just haven't fucking noticed.
Can you
Can I roll?
Yeah, can you roll a perception check? Do you know what? I don't know why I do this to myself. I drink 2 pints of brown and then think that I can just hold that.
Lydia, go.
I'm going to quickly go to the loo and I'll be back in a second.
Honestly, I've been working with sort of younguns on a summer activity camp this last 2 weeks, and they can hold their bladder longer than Lydia can.
Because Lydia is not one person; she is 12 shrews.
Yeah.
She's 12 shrews in a ginger wig. Can't be tried to fucking kill my crab. What a bitch.
Hey, now.
You're an art
Hey
star.
now, hey now.
You
It's what
are
happens.
an all-star.
Familiars and sidekicks aren't safe.
He's neither of those. He's a friend.
Friends aren't safe either. Friends, loved ones.
Nikki, you should have learned by now, being in Lydia's campaigns, friends are certainly not safe. In fact,
No.
friends are actually almost like less safe than characters are.
Yeah, it's better to not have friends.
This
It's
is my
better
this is
be
my
on your
first
own.
NPC, which is mine, that we've dealt with in a Lydia campaign.
Yeah, and they're always
He's my little guy.
They're always in peril.
This
Pets
is
and children.
This is
always
as
in
bad
peril.
as Horse Gang. Horse Gang was my horse that Lydia kidnapped. Horse napped.
Horse gang walked so Jax could run.
Cool. What was your perception check?
My perception was 14.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
At the chippy.
You
The fuck was that?
you look you're like just looking at all the little caves and the little alcoves, and for a second you see a kind of humanoid looking out of a cave that then pulls themselves back into a cave. Could you please roll for me a
Look at this thing.
wisdom saving throw?
Isn't it neat? It's got blonde hair and what are those feet?
17.
Ooh. As you see that thing moving back, the thing that kind of caught your attention was they seem to be casting. You see these hands, these like long, spindly green hands, like trying to cast, and it makes you steel yourself in the water. You're approximately like 50 feet underwater at the moment. And you steel yourself and you feel for a second your muscles become like rigid and you can't move. And then you're like, oh no, and you push against it and you can start swimming. But as that happens, you are from the you were looking directly at this person who seemed to be casting, and then there's a flash, and from the left hand side you see suddenly a shark coming towards you that seems to have coral and shells attached, like stuck onto its skin, and it gets a surprise round on you because you were on the other person.
Coral shark, it's got a higher AC, almost definitely.
That is a 16 on the first attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Underwater.
That is 7 damage as it takes a bite into your leg and then kind of does a chunk further in to try and bite for a second time. 2 for a 6, which I think probably misses, right?
A 6, yeah, that does miss.
I thought you were shaking your head like, no, that hits. I was like, girl, something's fucking wrong on your sheet. What's so it essentially attempts to gobble you a little bit, and what it ends up doing is you swim out of its jaws, and it loses its grip on you altogether, but you've taken that first bit of damage. Can I please? Yeah, let's go into initiative.
It tried to gobble you, swallow you.
Oh, no.
But you're a wet house CC.
It got 13.
Okay, so it's going first. Can I cast anything underwater?
You can't cast a spell that requires the voice.
I can't cast a spell that requires...
Okay.
Aquatic, special, dolphin noises to be able to cast underwater.
Okay, this is an issue.
Cantrip?
But casting your thing is not doesn't require vocal component. You know what I mean when I do this.
Okay,
Okay, it's going to try and attack, and the first attack is a 7.
Nope.
The second attack, though, is a 22.
Yep.
It lashes round, and you feel its teeth raking against you as it doesn't actually champ down on you, but it sort of rakes its teeth over. Right, where's all my d10s? You're lucky. That is 6 points of damage.
Because you know, honestly, I just sort of feel bad for whatever the fuck's going to happen to Mav next.
God,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What do you do?
I summon my sword.
There's a moment as you summon it when you are terrified that it's not worked. And you move your hand and you do feel the ripple in the water, but it's this is a real meta way of doing it, but you know how a water weird can't be seen when it's underwater. Your thing is made of water, so you can't see it underwater.
Oh, I love this.
Cool.
Okay.
Very nice.
Cool.
So if you ever need to secretly stab Shay...
Yeah. When he
I
inevitably
trust
betrays
you,
the
Lydia.
party, yeah.
Is it a bonus action to do that?
To summon your sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Then I can't do
Can't,
that now.
yeah.
But this bitch gets 2 attacks now. So 2 attacks swinging at this shark. First one is oh, that's weird. 21.
It hits.
And that is... I'm going to roll in D&D Beyond.
Wait, why am I doing such calm music? Come on now.
Because it's just a shark. We all know sharks are notoriously...
11 points of damage on the first hit.
Ooh, spicy.
Very spicy.
A little bit of...
And then 25 to hit on the second.
What's the hit on the second?
25.
Yes, girl.
And then another 10 points of damage, so 21 points of damage.
Ah,
Fuck,
yes.
go shark.
And,
It's not dead for sure,
Of course.
but you are slashing away, getting like trying to hit in between the bits of like shell and coral that are like attached to it, and you see like blood billowing out into the water. Is that your full go?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try and swim further up to the surface.
Okay, you make an attempt to swim and it gets an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
That is a 9 + 4, that's a 13.
No.
Get the fuck out!
Wait, what's your armor class?
15.
I thought it was 15 with your mage armor.
Correct me. Yes, it is. Hang on.
Sorry to be...
No. It's because I have to like. It's so annoying. Like, it's a small thing. D&D Beyond is great, but I wish there was a way I could be like, I'm casting.
Oh
We
my
can do that.
god.
And override it.
The
We'll
fact
just make
that
a
you
home run.
can't to your AC through a mage armor on your page. Sorry,
No,
because
you
I know
just
D&D Beyond's
My
literally
AC
incredible.
is 12.
Okay, so
we'll
it
make
hits.
a homebrew item called Mage Armor, and then you can just toggle it on and off.
Perfect.
I'll sort that out.
Oof. The damage is so low every fucking time.
I thought it was going to be the other way and I got scared.
7 damage, piercing damage.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally rolling 2d10s every time, and it's so shit.
I would just like to say to remember at the end of last session when we all rolled our hit die and I rolled a 2, so
Also, she's a caster, technically, so...
yeah, so it's not like I've got a lot of hit points, so don't worry.
What is
about
your
it.
max hit point?
My max is 35.
We're on the same max.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking wizard, dude.
Yeah.
It immediately tries to darts after you and goes to attack. And the first one I've rolled a 5, so that is a 9, so it misses. You are just like, it's just it doesn't realize how quickly you're going and it just nips at your feet. The second one, oh my fucking god. That is a 10 total. So it misses
Revenge.
both times. And it's just going after you. It's kind of hot on your heels.
Well, I'm
Ain't no fucking crab now.
swinging at it. 23 to hit.
23 hits, man. You're rolling well tonight.
7 points of damage.
7.
You could Hexblade's Curse it on your bonus action.
Oh, I could have.
Do it now.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll Hexblade's Curse it.
I'll allow it in between. I know that it's a bit like dodgy, maybe a little bit between it, but I'll allow it.
I should have done it first. 26 to hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 12. Oh, max damage.
Hi, my name's Max Damage.
Plus 3 damage.
Nice to meet you.
Plus 3 damage. So 15 points of damage.
It's incredible. So just describe it for me. As you swum away, it's nipped at your heels, and you've turned. What does it look like as you slay this shell shark?
I think. Can I?
Oh, it's got a name.
I think what Cece does. I don't know if this really works in my head, but like like it's swimming after her, and she does kind of like a backflip thing, to like come and reach it, and it like just sticks her sword in it. So as it like swims up, it's almost doing half the like damage.
That's
for her.
shallows level shark fighting,
And
right?
throughout all of this, she's in this tiny little fucking
Tiny.
Sports Illustrated bikini.
Yeah,
Like
it's technically a one like is it
One Piece.
One Piece.
It's got
but,
like a big,
so many bits
big
cut
like
out.
nipple
Yeah.
cut out, a
Yeah.
boob window, and like.
And
Yeah,
you just
all of it.
Blake Lively the shit out of it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's incredible. As you do that, and the the body of the shark goes like
Oh, I
limp,
gained 10 hit points as well.
Yeah, you do.
and it just floats there in the water. You are you just swimming up?
I think she's gonna look out because there might be another shark coming for her, or she also remembers there was someone casting. So
Roll perception. What's your hit point situation currently? How rough are you?
25 now because I healed. 16 perception.
Okay. With a 16, you see a figure coming out of the cave, swimming towards you. There are robes billowing behind it, and it looks at you and it shouts into the water, and it sounds kind of like what is it? Echolocation, almost like in the water. I don't know why I can't
It
think of
sounds
what
like
that
Echo,
word.
the dolphin.
And
Video game.
and as it hits your ears, for some reason, you understand it.
Oh.
And it says to you, the first of three, a fitting sacrifice to my Lord. He will know my name. And it is going full pelt towards you. Are you swimming away or are you stopping to fight? It's holding a staff. It is absolutely fresh. Has no damage on it whatsoever. And it has like, the staff has shells and stuff hanging off it and glimmering like jewelry.
I'm just trying to think, how close to the surface am I? Could I get there within?
20 feet at this stage.
Yeah, I think Cece's gonna get up and get her head above water so she can cast Hold Person on them.
Ooh, hitting it with what it tried to hit you with. I like it. So it needs to roll a wisdom save. What's the...
Yes, gotta be at 16.
Oh my God.
So I just want to clarify, is this Sea Wife?
This is
I
my
rolled
sea
a 4. The wisdom is +2, so that's a fucking 6.
Cool. Drown, bitch. I don't know.
As she's like swimming, she just stops, and there's a little bit of that jet propulsion that kind of just keeps her moving, but at a much slower rate. She's just like hanging there.
Can I be a real dick? I don't. Feel free to say no.
Pitch me anything. I love it.
I want to snatch the staff out of her hand.
Yeah, you'll have to dive back down and grab it.
Yeah, but I've got to hold this for a minute, so I figure.
Okay. What I'm going to do is this. Let's go back into initiative versus her, because you just kind of did it, and I should have done that earlier. Her initiative is 7.
Oh, I just read my thing. Yeah. Her initiative 7. Mine's 10.
Okay, so you go first. You get to go back down, go back down. So you're going to kind of use your full movement to get to her, to try and grab it.
Would it be my full
movement to get to her?
Okay, yeah.
So you can use your action to try and yank it from her.
Yeah.
She is... okay, you know what? I'm just going to allow it because she might have a tight grip, but who fucking cares?
Yeah, I think I was just checking.
You got a sweet looking little staff.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna kick off of her a bit, so hopefully it forces her away, as she's still, and just so I can.
It kind of starts drifting backwards.
Yeah. And I'm just like.
And you can't do any more movement. It's her go. She's gonna do a wisdom. So mad. Why am I not swapping my dice out? These aren't my friends right now. She fails her wisdom save again, so you can use your following round.
This is karma for the crap.
Wait, is hold person, it just holds for a minute or it holds for a turn? I can't remember.
It's a minute, and they can make the save at the end of each of their turns. So I'm going to use my full action to dash and everything, get away from them.
Okay. You get to the surface again, and so it would be your full movement to get back up, and you would use your dash to swim to the shore, which you wouldn't quite get. You're a little bit like too far away, but there is like an albatross like over the head of you, like making noise in the sky as you're doing it. I'm going to roll for her.
Cece started calling the albatross Albie.
I rolled a 5. God fucking damn it! I'm going to just get a new D20 out.
Sure.
Getting the big guns out.
It's your turn, Cece, right?
Yeah.
You are on the shore. Albie is like lands and like is sort of stomping around, and you're holding on to this staff.
Yeah, like Cece didn't think too much of it, but it was kind of like in a split moment, she was like, "That's a weapon."
If you're gonna be mean, I'm gonna take away your toys.
Yeah, yeah, I think she almost did view it like that. Like, no, don't do that.
Just smashed it off.
Just take away your toys. And Cece's gonna run to.
You're on the main island now,
The main island.
kind of like near the dock.
Can me and Mav toss to see who's in the island, to see who's in the lighthouse?
Yeah. I'll roll. Odds or evens?
I'll let Tom pick.
Odds.
Okay, so odds. Mav is on the lighthouse, and evens. L is on the lighthouse. Evens, which means L's in the lighthouse, right? That's that what I just said.
So now it's probably in the house. Is that right?
Yeah, that's basically. But I was just trying to establish in canon that you weren't entirely there alone.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I think Cece's running and she's telling Albie everything. Like, oh my god, did you see that? What the hell was that thing? Do you know her? Is she your friend? Like, what the hell? Like, she tried to drown me, and then that shark. What the hell? I just killed a shark. Oh my god. What is this? And she's just running, and like every now and then she's going, Mav! Elle! Jax!
Mav's probably down in like the cellar, just like pulling bottles of like precious like stuff off the walls, like, oh no. I don't know, you can tell me, I'm just being a dick.
No, that sounds about right.
So it would probably be you'd have to burst right into the house in order to get his attention, and Mav, you are in the middle of fanning around, and you hear screaming
And like wet feet on
rush upstairs, bottle in hand. What's wrong? Is it them again?
Blood is pouring out of her. She has huge teeth marks all down her fucking beautiful one piece bathing suit is fucked.
Well, how the bloody hell have you done this?
I got attacked by a shark, and this other thing tried to like drown me. I just took this and I ran.
Okay. Sit down, and I go and run over to where I'm assuming that we put those 3 health potions the healing potions that we found like in the kitchen, like sort of pride of place kind of thing. I go sit down.
Bathroom where the first aid kit gets put. So yeah.
I absolutely grab one of them and sort of like give it to her and kind of go, I'm so sorry, I can't do anything more, but take this.
Okay.
Now tell me what happened.
Okay. So I was diving, to get us some more cockles and stuff.
Right.
And there was like this person in like one of those caves underneath the island. And it's like they made me go like stiff, but like I think I like stopped it from happening. Not like that, Mav.
Right, sorry.
You said cockles and stiff in 20 seconds, and Mav's really struggling to listen properly.
Yes. And then like I got attacked by a shark, and I fought it. I killed it. I think I killed the shark. And then I managed to get to the surface and like, I just, Zoltish like told me this thing, and to stop her so she couldn't hurt me anymore. And I just grabbed this. They were holding it, and I swam. Oh,
I think as you're saying that, Mav is sort of grabbing sort of like scraps of cloth and stuff, and is like dabbing at wounds and stuff like that, and
they like screamed at me, but like I could hear it in my head, and they said something about the first of three, something about sacrifice for their lord or something. I can't remember.
Oh, fucking wonderful. Great. Excellent. There's more of these fucking people around, and they're evidently after us. I honestly, can people just fuck off?
I'm
just
starting to sound like a Tory.
I need to get back into this as opposed to fucking this and fucking that.
What if we're being hunted?
I think all the more reason for us to stay together, to stay safe. I know there is a lot of stuff that we need to do, of bits and pieces that we need to do to get this island ready. But honestly, I don't fully. I've started to become quite attached to you two. And I would hate for either of you to, 3.
It wasn't counting Al. It was just
not
Jack.
Fucking there. You're not there.
Yeah, he was counting Jack, just not Al.
And I would hate it if any of us succumbed to these absolute fucking assholes. But listen, I am infinitely proud of you, Cece. I mean, one whole shark is
a whole shark.
A whole fucking shark.
It really bit my leg. It really fucking hurt.
I know.
Not to cry.
Hey.
I think the shock's like wearing off, and I'm about to just cry a whole bunch.
Cece, look at me.
Okay.
Can you move your leg as though you're kicking something? Okay, great. It's working.
That girl took ballet.
And I sort of like grab one of the unsullied pieces of cloth and kind of like wipe away some of the tears that are starting to form and go, see, there you go. We don't have to cut it off anymore, do we? See, it's working. Come on. And kind of like gets you up, and I think I go to I've taken one of the jars of honey from the cellar, and I've sort of got it on the counter, and I get a spoon. I get a big old spoon and sort of like just shove it straight in your mouth, and kind of go, come on, bit of sugar. And I go to the bottle that I've already got and uncork it with reckless abandon, because and I probably go and I sort of like, as you're sort of got the honey in your mouth, I kind of look over to you and kind of go, whilst Elle's not here, and I uncork it and pour a big old.
It's been a really rough day.
It's been a really rough day, and pour a big old sort of glog of whatever's in there, sort of sniff it and go, there you go, perfect, brandy, and give it to you, and sort of go, and hey, look, I think to be quite honest, if it's all the same, I'm very glad it was you and not me in that water, because truthfully, I don't think I would have got out of the water. I think, darling, whatever has happened to you since coming to this island, has made you far stronger than I think you truly believe. And I think you need to remember that.
You really think so?
course.
You don't think I've made a huge, terrible mistake and actually just thrown away a lot of stuff I had for granted and should have just stayed at home where I had a really nice house and I didn't have to do anything. I could just sit around all day and like have brunch and I didn't have to worry about whether we were getting hunted by dandelion ghosts or sharks or whether we were going to starve on the island or, you know, whether we might just die here.
Another spoon of honey goes straight in the mouth and goes. I say, look, darling, I don't have a wonderful analogy for you right now. I think we're in unanalogous times. What I do know, though, is that you are certainly not just the vision in future anymore. Okay? And I kind of like do the. He's ultimately condescending, but like do the kind of like cup your face and kind of like wipe away the tears and go. Now come on, let's come out with me. I'm going to sort the bees out.
Okay.
It's sort of like as I'm walking, I go. I've named a fair few already.
Oh, I want to name some.
Absolutely.
Mav, can you make me a new bikini?
Oh, I mean, she is full minge out.
Mav's seen it all. He doesn't care. Like this is like I sort of like
Maverick
look
Spells
down
is all about context.
Yeah.
Yes. I think, to be quite honest, I think I think we need to sort out some clothes for all of us, don't you?
Yeah, maybe something a bit more practical, actually, like maybe some like leather or something like.
Absolutely. And
Practical leather swimwear.
I was thinking armor, but yeah, you know.
As he sort of starts to lead her out, he notices the limp and casts what's the
Magical splint.
Yes, magical splint. No, he casts
Maverick's
Prince's
magical
floating disc and kind of gets her to sit on it. Gives her the bottle and gives her the cup. And goes, pour me one as well.
Such a princess, just sitting on with a drink and a spoonful of honey, going, "I had a bad day."
And I think Mav does that thing. Like, Mav's not an outdoors person. However, he absolutely knows all of the names of all of the fucking like of all of the sort of like flowers and all of the kind of the plants and stuff. And Mav fully does the thing that my granddad used to do to me when I was upset, and so, like took me out into the garden and kind of like took me around all of the plants and kind of like sort of said like, and now this one's this and this one's that and that one's this and this one's that. All means fucking bollocks to me, but you know, at least, and it's full on kind of distraction tactics.
Mav is a man who's done a lot of very, very specific research on very niche topics.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like
you know the Latin words for plants, but you don't know which ones are herbs and which ones are like edible and not edible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like he's on full. He's not the most insightful person, but he's on full kind of distraction mode. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
lovely.
Cece absorbs it, like she wants to
other things that I'd say while we're on Cece's downtime is
Oh, sorry. Could I have said a thing during that while they were heading to the bees?
Yeah.
Can from the other side of the bridge or something, Elle have been like when they're like walking down the path to get to the bees or something, like Elle just thought of be at a distance, and just be like, "Hey y'all. That's a nice magic stick. You gonna put it on the pile with the other magic things downstairs?"
Oh yes, we have a pile.
Fucking eating a tomato cheese.
Hide the bottle. Hide the bottle. Yes, absolutely. We'll
Where is she hiding?
Just in her boobs.
That works. They're big.
And we'll pop it down. We're just going to see the bees.
Have fun.
So the first night that you slept, you found a pearl, and the
Yes,
second night
I've been
you
collecting them.
woke up. Each night you've been waking up with a pearl in your hand until you got to 22 pearls,
Oh.
and then they stopped coming.
Oh.
Just a little side note. Did you go and see Elsker at all, or have you just never returned?
I mean, after that conversation, I would have.
Yeah, that happened. That I think Cece jogging you guys to like get her knowledge happens sort of towards the end of downtime. But I'm wondering if Cece went back to chat to her during her.
I think so. Like, I think Cece would want to be a good neighbor because she left a confusing impression on her. Like, Cece's like, I don't know if she likes me, and that's a problem because she needs to like me. So, like, if Mav's got like some good honey, she's probably gonna take like a little jar of it over or whatever to be like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? And if it happened after her shark attack, I think she would have gone over to speak to Elsker to be like, I got attacked, is that normal?
Okay, she on that particular occasion, you know, she's often not in her cottage.
Yeah.
Like there's only a couple of times when you actually go to her cottage and she's there. There's the odd moment when you would go and she's in the temple. But on this occasion when you go across, she's in the tent. No, she's in her home. She's in her home. And I'm guessing you haven't come in your ripped swimsuit. This is like the day after.
No. But Cece is running out of clothes, so it may be like her.
She's wearing an outfit one at a time. One outfit, then a bit.
Yeah, but she's probably just in her overalls for now. She's given Mav time to make her something new.
Hello.
Hi, Elsker. I bought you like a little jar of honey. I thought you might like some.
She takes it off you and unplugs the top and.
Oh.
And then finds it too gummy and.
Someone clip it. Someone clip it now.
Finds it too like gummy in her mouth and.
Well, yeah, that much.
You had honey. Anyway, how are you doing, Elsker?
I am always doing.
I love this bitch.
I guess we're all always doing, aren't we?
How are you, shiny?
Why am I shiny? Well, it's a bit
No, how are you, shiny?
How? Dunno. Well, do you really want to know? It's the kind of thing I only tell my friends, really. I guess I can tell you. It's fine.
Sorry, for me, it's really just a.
Cece doesn't know how to act in this moment.
Is she attracted to her? Like.
No, but like, she's trying to turn on a like.
Talking, she like picks up there's like a twig on the ground that's been blown in through her open front door, and she picks it up and dips it in the honey and puts it in her headdress.
Oh, that's not. That's beautiful.
Keep going.
Oh, well, look, and she sticks out her, like, shows the ring. Wait, do you know what this is? Do you have one? Is Joltish, like, just giving these out?
No. You won't see them for a while.
They've not abandoned you. They are healing.
They're healing? Are they hurt? What's wrong? Maybe Elle can do a bit of healing. Maybe we can help. Do you know
You caused this.
Oh.
But you are so shiny.
I am. It's like a natural highlight, isn't it? It's quite nice. Quite like how it captures it in the sun. They've been So do you know them? Do you know Joltish?
Can we ever really know anyone?
Oh, well now you're asking the difficult questions, aren't you, Elsker?
I think yes.
Wait, do you think you can really know someone?
Yes, I think so. Don't you?
I think you can think you know someone.
I think when I first put my fingers on your gums, I knew you.
Yeah. Do you know me or do you just think you know me though?
I think I know you.
Okay, then tell me this. Is it Joltish that's been giving me these pearls? And she pulls a couple out. Or do I just make pearls now?
Oh, Joltish. Oh.
What?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, stop it.
Have you just gone like this with your
Yeah, because that's the
No,
noise this
no.
one is making. See Cece's tits.
No. She's pulled a couple out and holding them in her hand,
He doesn't touch them.
No, okay, but what does it mean? What does it mean? Does this mean they're dying?
No. Healing.
They're healing.
Oh.
Are you alright? Do you want some? Shall I put the kettle on?
Will you make me tea?
Yeah, I'll make you tea. Have you got any?
She points to a clay pot with a stopper in the top, and you saw where she made her hearth that is never really properly lit. And she, as you're doing that, she just walks out of the cottage.
You're the witch now.
I don't know. I could get used to it. I reckon I could brighten it up a little. Got plenty of pearls to decorate with.
Just on a shelf every now and again is a single pearl.
Little pearl collection like thimbles.
You're creating a Home Alone nightmare with your decoration. She's gonna come back in and just fucking off.
I'm gonna kill this old woman.
This is how we kill the witch.
This is how you kill the witch. Yeah, just Cece will just make the tea and assume she's gonna come back.
She doesn't.
Wow.
What do you mean she doesn't?
She doesn't come back.
Ever?
I sit there.
You brew the tea. I mean, you tell me how long you think Cece would wait. You brew the tea. You open up that thing, and it's just dust in the pot. So you're not. I don't know. You tell me what you do, but the
I'm
water.
I'm poking around to try and find something to make tea with.
Roll investigation.
11.
There is no foodstuffs in this house.
What's she eating? She's a witch. Oh my god, Mav's right, she is a witch. She gonna eat me? Okay.
Half an hour passes. The water's boiled dry in the kettle, and she has returned.
Cece fully doesn't know what to do in this situation. Like, I think she's used to people being rude in different ways, but to her, this is like unacceptable rude. Like, like she doesn't know how to handle it, like, at all. Like, you can't give like a snide comment or whatever. It's just like.
Do you know what's so perfect about this? You came here to ask her about the shark, and you didn't even get a chance to bring it up.
No. Well, yeah, she'll sit there and wait for like a little bit, like poke her head out, and go.
You just see that the sun's about to go down.
What the? I'm going. I don't know if you've been with me, just like invisible or something. I don't know if witches can do that. Also, I'm sorry if you're not a witch. That's probably mean. But I don't mean it in a mean way. I'm going, bye! And then I'll just go.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. Anything else that you think might happen in those weeks of downtime?
For all of us or Cece?
Just Cece.
Good question. I don't think so particularly. I think she's read through all of Mav's books again. Apart from A Vision of Fuchsia that she doesn't read. I think she'll probably try and get in on one of Elle's like smoke leaf nights that he has with Mav. Like, oh, can I come in?
My favourite thing is that Shield will try and talk, and it's fully one of those.
That's why
like
Cece's not allowed.
It's fully just Mav and Elle just sit there in total silence, smoking.
Yeah.
Wow, this is genuine triggering to me. I can't bear it.
It's one of those moments where, like, we sit down, we have a bit of a couple of puffs and sort of just sit there, and Cece says something, and we both go, oh, right, okay. Do we have it? Like, we just sort of stand up and kind of get going on something.
Oh God.
Yeah, Cece's really like, oh, do you just sit here in silence?
It just changes the evening. Like, I imagine the three of them still have fun. Four of them still have fun.
Yeah.
100%.
But it also means Cece goes, oh, that's boring as hell.
Yeah. It's a full, like, comfortable chair, silent smoking, like, evening.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Mav is 46 and
Elle is 406.
400 and something. Like,
it's 400 something.
Yeah. Then that probably chat.
You don't need, because the harsh truth of it is that all day, every day, you are working incredibly hard to get the produce in the earth, and to be playing catch up. So between that and the snorkeling, and then like the evenings of this, that, and the other, you are flat out, and you're sort of seeing. You know, your body took on a change when you got your powers, but you're seeing day after day, like how a body that is fit from constant hard use is, what that like feels like, and the empowerment that comes with that. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Mav,
hi.
I see, I see you. You're like snowballing anxious energy as other people's turns happen, and I'm sorry that you had to go last.
Absolutely fuck you for whatever is coming.
Tell me about how Mav spends his downtime.
So I've had some thoughts about this.
Okay.
And I think, first and foremost, as I've already said, in the first kind of week or so, in like almost to a kind of an agoraphobic degree. I think Mav sort of stays within the homestead. Apart from like the times where like it's his turn to go up to the lighthouse and do his thing there, which I think he goes at it like avariciously. Is that a word? Goes at it like really kind of enthusiastically, I think. So that kind of first week or so, I think is he's fully in kind of house mode, and it remains kind of to a certain extent going forward. But so you know, the cooking, the cleaning, and like clothes and stuff, I think he takes great pleasure, genuinely, with a lot of those kind of things. And when I say cleaning, it's kind of like the very much Mav cleaning as opposed to an actual deep clean. It's kind of it's surfaces voraciously. Thank you very much. That's the one. Like surfaces are being sort of swept of dust, but the gaping hole in the wall is okay. That's okay for now, kind of thing. I think that's how he starts his time on the island. He then finds the kind of trove, the library of books, and whilst he starts with a lot of the looking through a lot of the fiction, he's either read or is kind of quite disparaging about a lot of the books there, and therefore kind of starts to find the non-fiction and starts to find the kind of the tutorial style book, and the specifically the kind of enchantment kind of stuff, I think. I will come back to that. Sorry, ADHD brain is going full speed. Through the cooking, I think, as I said, he's been experimenting with kind of cocktails and stuff like that, and obviously, you know, that a lot of what he likes is the kind of aromatics and stuff like that, and I think he starts to look into quite enthusiastically like herbs and herb gardening and stuff like that a lot more, and I think I'm essentially asking whether I could kind of look into getting some form of proficiency with like herbalism kit and stuff like that. I think is kind of that sort of side of things.
You can. The thing I would say, I think CC has herbalism proficiency. So
oh, you do?
I do.
Yeah.
In that case, it'll be purely.
I think you kind of do it a little bit, and then as you're doing it, Cece comes over your shoulder and goes, "Oh, I know how to do that and this." And it's almost like at first she's sort of teaching you, and then you realize that it's not
Actually,
like you don't push anymore.
The big thing for me, I think, is knowing the properties of honey is the apiary, and I think probably. Like
do brewers utensils?
Yes, and like the apiary, like knowing full well that actually water is in relatively low supply, like fresh water. Obviously, we have the spring, but like in case of we need some form of potable water, and also Mav likes a drink and would quite like to get to know. So I think.
Here's the thing is, you know, when you start kind of digging into that and getting the books out with regards to all of that stuff, you read about, because there is a freshwater lake that's on the main island. So you have those two main sources of freshwater. There's the freshwater lake, which is used more in a practical sense. It's where the fishery is. It's where, you know, if you were going to make moonshine, you would make it there. But all the stuff that's kind of like household is done from the well, which now has scallops in it. But yeah, so you realize that. What I'll say about, are you going to roll to get proficiency? Because it would only take one successful downtime to get full proficiency in brewers' utensils. It's not like a skill where you would get half proficiency. You would get full from one round.
I think I'm gonna have to try. The other thing, like, I'm aware that the kind of animals, both Tom and Mav, that the animals are like not being seen to as much as they perhaps should be. I don't think Mav is necessarily like 100% on board with doing animal stuff.
I mean, it's not, here's the thing. There are so many things that need to be done on the island. I'm not expecting you to vocalize to me that you are doing every single one of them. I make the assumption that, that especially when it comes to the livestock, that unless you have specifically said that you're focusing all your attention on one specific thing, that there is like, all the chores are being done. So
I said that Elle would be feeding and cleaning the animals.
Yeah, Elle's doing the basics with the...
Yeah, he's just... When I said Elle's not doing anything, what I mean is Elle is not actively trying to better himself with this time. He's just kind of doing the bare minimum and chilling. He's built a hammock in a tree, and it's great.
Yeah. So I think to really reduce it down to the things that Mav is like intent on, it's anything to do with alcohol and the lighthouse basically at the moment. And then you've got the household kind of the household chores that actually he finds he quite enjoys. Am I okay to roll for brewer's tools?
of course, tell me what your 3 rolls are.
3 rolls. Okay. Oh God. Well, that's not going to be that. I rolled a 13, a 4, and a 6. I'm going to change the 4 to a 14. Still not great, but
Do you get to add
hang on a
anything to
second.
it, like your intelligence?
oh, am I adding anything to it?
Yeah, you add brewers is intelligence because
Nice.
learning. I think it would be intelligence.
I
And-
thought
and-
so.
But I think it would be intelligence.
And that would just be a straight intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Honestly, can't think of anything other because it is like academically learning about fermentation and temperatures and
I think-
weights and stuff.
I would say I think obviously with our home game with Mona and Ludo, we argued that like Ludo does it in a wisdom way and Mona learns it in an intelligence way, which means Mona could do it, but Ludo has a
He's
natural,
got the feel for it.
Yeah.
Also, those two grew up. They had their
yeah.
entire lives to learn it, so it's slightly different. But so
I
just
think
give me what your 3 totals are.
So with modifiers, that's an 18, a 17, and a 10.
Okay, that is enough to get your average over 13, I believe. I'm not doing the maths, but I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, that is.
Excellent. You now have proficiency with brewer's utensils. Here, you start making, knowing what the season is, you can't just make anything at any given time. The grapes, it's not grape season right now. The things that you can make are mead, picross, perry, or roddy. Those are the 4 things that are kind of like the right time to make it. You can, of course, go to the wine barrels and like tend them. There's lots of stuff that was made in previous seasons that can be tended, but by your predecessors. But the stuff that you can actually make is mead, picross, perry, or roddy.
So Mav being Mav, Picross isn't going to be drunk. Absolutely not. That is antiseptic. That's categorically not drinking Picross. Therefore, I mean, how much do we have left? Do we have enough for antiseptic? If it's like in terms of Picross, basically what I'm thinking mead because it would appear that we have quite a bit of honey, and also the bees are something that I'm finding interesting as Mav anyway.
I'd say mead would be the best one. You are running low on Picross, and it's one of those things that you can make a large batch in a day, but it's a little dangerous.
Can I offer you a slight narrative thing for
Go
the
ahead.
brewers thing? Tom, feel free to tell me no. So
Yep.
at the end of our last game, I said that Elle wanted to put together this like a halfling cider recipe in a barrel behind a
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
in the week in between those games, I did some research and found out it actually only takes 3 to 7 days to make cider.
That is
To
wild.
make ropey cider.
Yeah, it's ropey cider. But
I've made cider. That's not good after 3 to 7.
If you leave it much longer, it becomes hard cider and very alcoholic and not very tasty. I like the idea of sort of like towards the end of this month or 20 odd days, Elle shows up with the barrel, kind of like really proudly, like a dog with a stick, and be like, "Well, now I know it ain't much of my thing, but I saw we were running low, and I thought I'd do this." And it kind of hands the barrel over, and it's like half gone because of like the angel share of like distilling. Elle is completely baffled to where it's gone, and it is the most insanely strong apple and sea salt cider. Like it's, and then Elle's like, "Oh, I guess I can't. I mean, maybe I did it wrong." And then he just goes like so. And Mav just has this half barrel of insanely strong, not very tasty cider.
He absolutely calls after you. Thank you so much. Also, would Jax like to come with me to the lighthouse in a bit?
I mean, you can ask him.
Jax? I'll ask him later. So I think basically I want to make, if it's okay with you, Lydia, I want to make mead. I want to make. I think Perry's been made by Elle, and Mav will make sure that he enjoys it, even if he doesn't, in Elle's vicinity. And I think what I'd really like to make is Roddy as well, because I want
pomegranates.
Yeah, because apart from anything else, again, like it's that full on kind of like paternal kind of thing of going. I think Cece would appreciate something nice in the evenings. Kind
All
of.
right. With your newly found proficiency, why don't you roll for each one that you've made, and just so we get an idea of what it's like? Because
heck yeah! So this will be mead on the first go. Here's hoping. That is so. I'm getting +7 on this now.
Nice.
The mead is, I think, spectacular. That's 25.
Nunchuck.
The what did I say next? The Perry has already been made.
I don't know what Perry is. What's Perry?
Perry is pear cider, basically.
Is that a real world thing, or is that a Lydia world?
That's a real world thing. It's not
Real
a me
world
thing.
thing.
Real world
It's
thing.
a Hobbit thing.
The Picross, not quite as good. I rolled a 5, so that would be 12.
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly say with a 5, you are distilling the Picross, which, you know, anyone that remembers old Binty from the last game making Picross, it is a combination of boiling this sap, tree sap, and then very quickly cooling it through pipes through running water. And you boiling it one day and standing there kind of watching it, and you're sort of thinking about, why on earth are you doing this? Because no one drinks it, like what, you know, and then the whole glass structure just explodes in front of you, and you take 11 points of fire damage, halved, yeah, 5 because you're resistant. But that set of, like, you're going to have to remake the Picross thing.
Bollocks, shit, piss.
Jax is just next to you, covered in soot.
I think that's. Pardon my language, Jax. I apologise. And I think that's enough of Picross for me. Fuck that.
All right, let's get Roddy.
Roddy.
Which, by the way, folks, that's the me thing. Roddy is essentially like cider, but with pomegranates, because I want that drink in the real world.
Because
23.
We just stand pomegranates.
See, he can do it when he cares about the outcome.
Yeah.
Incredible. Those are in barrels, getting delicious.
Amazing. I'm quite happy with that. And I think the day that I'm happy with Roddy, I think I go to wherever Shax is at the time. And to be fair, I think we've got into a sort of like routine of like when it's my turn to go talk about this kind of mild agoraphobia kind of situation. I think it started off as like I'll bring Shax along, it'll be fine, as like a kind of safety mechanism type thing. And it's kind of like got to that point where it's like Shax just comes along. Is that like safe to say?
I think 100%. I think
I just remembered that I put a picture ages ago, way back when it was Michelle's moment, and you were doing a bit of farming stuff, and I said, there's wasps that are collecting. A lot of like you guys, because I think I remember one of you guys saying that you do quite a lot of just like patrolling the island, or maybe that was a me thing, I can't remember, but like it is important to look at the island, and you between Cece knowing that there's an influx, because obviously this is this ecosystem that it comes from no mainland, so what's on the island is on the island, and between you looking after the bees and her seeing that there's an influx in wasps, those wasps are kind of a danger to the bees. So between the two of you, there's this like moment when essentially the two toffs kind of work out this thing of like, no, we've got to get down to that, because we've got to somehow exterminate them, otherwise they'll be a danger to this. So there's this nice moment of like cooperative work that solves a smaller kind of problem on the island. Incredible.
Can Cece just like cast Shatter? Like completely overkills all like the wasps.
Jesus.
Just like a cracker.
He's going to be good this year. A lot of wasp tani.
Yeah.
Got a bit of spice to them now.
So I was saying that Elle would like tend to the kind of like wooded area on the farm island. I imagine him and Cece on like the farm island and going through this, and then I think Elle just starts a small campfire and covers it in smoke leaf in the middle of the forest to smoke all the wasps away. And I think,
that's a nice way of doing it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And then Elle just comes out of the dankest forest, just out of the smoke. Just out walks Elle, just like red-eyed, be like,
just go,
just like completely bleary-eyed. He's just like, but yeah, I think it would be
That's how we'll go to it.
yeah, like smoke the wasps out, and then they can fuck off.
Amazing.
I think.
Go on.
I was just going to say. I think on the Roddy day, I think as I take Jax with me, Nikki, you can absolutely do what Jax would want. But I think every single day when I bear with me on this. Every single day when I watch, when I start to walk up the lighthouse, and like I watch kind of Jax kind of like scuttling about downstairs, watching me go up. Like I actively feel quite guilty. And I think one day I kind of start to go up and go, Jax, would you like to see the
To make a winch.
Would you like to come and see the view, Jax? I forgot I can't speak to you. I tell you what, Jax, if you can understand me, put your arms in the air if you want to go.
I'll let Nikki answer on behalf of Jax.
Jax has a 1 intelligence, and I do not mean modifier, I mean score.
I'm going to
do it.
I'm gonna try.
No thoughts, crab empty.
If he gets scared, I will stop. But
this is the thing, Jax doesn't know fear. He has a 1 intelligence.
I would like to cast Tensor's floating disc underneath the crab. And as I start to walk up, I'm going to sort of walk up backwards, watching.
How wide's the disc?
Jax. It is 5
They're
foot.
3 foot, 5
It's
foot.
5 foot, so he's got half a foot on each edge.
It's one of those like it's probably the best way to do it because his legs are sort of like dangling over the edge.
Yeah, I like to think that he's got leg dangles either side.
Claws are holding onto the front.
Yeah. And as I walk up, I want to check whether this crab is sort of looking anxious or anything.
Roll insight.
What insight on a crab?
A -2 insight on a fucking crab. Oh, that was an 18 -2, so it's 16.
I mean, Nikki, let's do this together. I've got I kind of feel like that one intelligence speaks to being so in the moment that he can't conceive of what the danger would be. So it's just really fun to be moving without his legs.
I think wholeheartedly, this is no different than floating to him. He's floating. There's a nice breeze. That's all. Like he's like just fully.
It's like dry swimming. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no thoughts. Head is fucking empty.
Yeah.
Like his little legs are like moving, like he thinks he's swimming.
And I think I bring him to the top of the lighthouse and kind of keep him on the Tennis's floating disc so that he can sort of see out over like the small parapet and kind of like just. I think I'm just gonna for a bit just watch the sun go down with this crab.
How long does the floating disc last?
What if he gets stuck up there?
What if the falling damage kills him?
Can you imagine? I come back and go.
Yeah.
I come back and go. Elle, come quickly. You shouldn't have let me do it.
It's just broken shell and a soft crab body on the ground.
Why did you let me take him? Its duration is an hour.
Okay. You're going to just have to recast it.
I'll recast it at the end. Yeah.
Mav's good spellcaster.
You what, sorry?
Mav's a good spellcaster. Like he wouldn't just go, oh, well, it ran out.
Yeah. And actually, I think both times I would have cast it as a ritual as well anyway. So, but yeah, I just kind of like, as Mav, I quite like the idea of, this is really deep, like a little bit too deep. You've gone too deep, bro. But like raising someone above where they ought to be in life. That's, I think, something that I really think Mav really, really likes, is bringing people up to somewhere they ordinarily be.
You are Vincent D'Onofrio just tilting that pig back to see the stars. Yes. I don't think there's any. I think it's great casting for Mav as well. It's great.
Vinny D, my good friend Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. And I think you know I do my sort of like chores up in the lighthouse. I make sure that everything's kind of hunky-dory.
As you're walking around the lighthouse, the disc is just like following you like teacups around the island.
Fully. And yeah, I think like that's depressingly, Lydia. That's the interaction that I had planned for tonight.
That's incredible. What I will say is this: on that particular night when you showed the crab the stars, you find your way back to the house when it is appropriate, when your shift is over, and you essentially are sleeping good hours here because you're working your body until it aches every day. You are eating, I mean, decadently considering what is appropriate, but also you're sort of eating cleaner. You are drinking a little bit too much, but essentially you're sleeping all right. And on this particular evening, you fall fast asleep in your bed. And when you open your eyes, you find that you are looking at the empty bed You are perched on a windowsill. The shutters are wide open. The window box outside has fresh earth in it, no plants in it yet though. And there is the translucent image of the beautiful black-skinned woman with golden markings. She is sitting on the chair by the bed, quietly weeping liquid gold into her lap. You look down and you realize that your feet are scrawny bird feet. You have feathers. You are startled. You step back and take a tumble off the windowsill and land heavily in a puddle. You look at your reflection in the puddle. You are a petite bird, mostly vibrant red feathers, but some blue markings. And this very long, ever so slightly curved beak. You are a sunbird, a red feathered sunbird. You remember one of these red sunbirds that was kept as a pet in the palace. And you shake out your wings for a second and feel the kind of shape of them and the feathers, and you take off into the dark early morning around the island. The birds in the palace were kept in a cage, fairly good sized cage, but you've got no real idea about how they could fly, but you are fast. You can speed around this island from island to island, like hopping and darting in between through trees and along cliff edges. And you are kind of using the wind that whips along that white cliff edge on the northern part of the island. You're coasting along it close to the rock edge. And you look towards the lighthouse. And to your surprise, you see yourself, your tiefling self, up in the lighthouse. No crab, just you. And you begin, you make your way towards yourself, as it were. Your tiny body, as you're doing this, doesn't ache. It isn't hungover. Your heart isn't broken or heavy. You are just this small bird living on the wind. You are looking at your tiefling self. You're standing on the edge of the lamp deck, the top part of the lighthouse, and you're looking north out to the sea, which, is it's a little unusual. Kind of well that you've been avoiding looking out to the water since that very first day that you came here. Looking out at that vast rolling ocean seems to instill more of that feeling of isolation that you've felt since you've been here. But this Mav is looking out and standing on the edge, so close to the edge that you can see with your bird perception that your toes are actually curled over the edge of the lip of the lighthouse, and strong winds are like tugging at your clothes, pulling and tugging at your clothes, and the winds have like pulled your hair out of the like bun that it's often in, and your hair is being swept about in the wind. The sun is rising at this point to the east. You're like flying from the west, and the sun is beginning to rise in the east. So this tiefling, Mav, is being a little bit silhouetted, but you could swear that he's smiling. And then suddenly, as the bird is almost upon the tiefling, a hand grabs at the foot of Mav and pulls, and Mav is thrown to the ground and is starting to be dragged off the side of the lighthouse. Mav begins to scream and try and pull himself back. You hear words coming from this creature, this gilled green creature wearing robes with wide blinking eyes as it yanks at you and tries to make you tumble from the top of the lighthouse. You hear words coming from the creature that you can't understand, but a phrase that gets repeated over and over again. Mav, the tiefling, is screaming, and the sunbird helplessly swoops in and begins to peck at the hands that have the ankles of Mav, but you can't ever seem to get purchase on the hands. You're pecking and pecking, but it's not working. And again, this phrase is repeated, and Tiefling Mav, his nails are breaking as he's trying to hold on to the slabs of stone in the ground. And Mav is losing this fight. He is not strong enough. The green guild creature that is yanking at him is overpowering him. And just as it looks like the creature is going to pull him from the lighthouse, another hand comes from the light stone and holds on to your wrist with your broken fingernails. This hand is thin and humanoid. Part of the skin is pale white, and part is gray. This thin hand, despite the thinness, will not let you go. The bird looks like hops up the body of Mav, who is now being pulled in two different directions, and sits sort of on the ledge where there are bricks that sort of the lampstone nestles in, and tries to look down between the lampstone. And you, as the bird, see a hollow, that the lighthouse is hollow on the inside and paved, and it goes down into darkness, except where the hand is and this long arm, there are two eyes looking up at you through the darkness. One eye is blue and one eye is red. And you wake in your bed, and you are safe.
Can I look around to see if there's anything there in the room?
Yeah, roll investigation.
What are you doing to me, Lydia? Jeez.
Wait, before you roll investigation, can
Yeah.
you tell me, please, what Mav is feeling right now? In that moment when he wakes, what is his... I mean, obviously he's confused and he's frightened, but what else is in the mix?
I've got to be honest, I think there's a lot. I think the main sort of images that he sees are euphoria, first and foremost, sitting on the chair crying. The freedom of actually feeling free on the island is fairly overpowering, fairly intoxicating. And the utter like curiosity of what the heterochromatic eyes of this being actually means.
Okay.
Is none of those were emotions.
No, I get it. That's you gave me. You're still. There's a curiosity, but there's also. I think what I'm gleaning from what you just said is actually you're not just waking up with fear in your heart, and it's it's actually a lot of your takeaway is the freedom from the bird and the connection to your old friend. And so it's not actually, he's not waking up holding on to a lot of the negativity that came with that.
I don't think he is. I think as you said, there is the initial terror of that dream is almost visceral. But I think a lot of it is he writes word pictures every single day. This is as much of a word picture as you could possibly imagine, and he's trying to glean what those words are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the curiosity, the longing, and the kind of longing for home and freedom, as well as curiosity of like what the fuck this dream could mean. Almost over.
There is a difference. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's definitely a difference in the Mav that was on the boat, who, when adversity hit him, he hid away in his room, and the Mav that we see now is somebody that actually is a little bit more in the moment and a little bit more like, I wouldn't say he's necessarily like really going at life the way, he's not forcing himself to, but he is finding the stuff that works for him and finding little moments of joy,
as opposed to being utterly shell shocked by the entire ordeal. He's been forced to put one foot before the other, and he's still hiding from a lot of things, full stop. But he's starting to make that journey, and I think that the people that he's on the island with, and the fact that he's on the island alone with these people means that he is being forced to start his journey, I think.
Okay, so the first thing I'll say is this: before you do that investigation roll, is just roll your dice, roll your.
Thank you.
For the day, because I always feel like when you're doing this downtime stuff, it's really hard for a div whiz to.
Wonderfully straight down the middle. That's an 11 and a 12.
Okay. Roll your investigation for looking around.
They each have a place. Investigation was an unnatural 20, Eisodosan 20.
Oh, okay, cool, brilliant. Well, you sit up in bed, you start looking around. It's morning, and it's nice and bright out, and you did go to sleep with the shutters open last night, and you've been doing a little bit of, you said you were doing some housework, and perhaps one of the things that between Cece doing stuff and you doing housework, she did like put fresh earth in the window boxes outside some of the windows, but nothing was planted in them yet, just as I kind of described in the dream. But you look at that window box, and there is a plant in it. There's a lot of earth, but there's one plant that was not there yesterday, you could swear. And you investigate this plant, and you can't quite identify it, not being somebody that is exactly a horticulturalist. But in this sudden moment, you realize that there is the bud of a flower, and it is a black rose.
I don't know what that means, Lydia.
Then you'll never know. You do know it's going to hit you any second.
It hasn't yet.
It'll hit you at like 3 a.m. or something.
I'm going to get a text from Tom at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Black fucking rose? I just got it.
Oh, really?
Did you really? Or you just want to feel like you got it?
Lydia, I don't know what to do with that information, Lydia.
Should I get this? Or is this just a Tom thing?
No, it's a me thing.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, Lydia.
What does it mean?
I think I immediately sit down, gut punch shocked, as I start to cry. I think I go to cast minor illusion or minor image, and Lydia. And oh fuck, Lydia. In true and utter blind hope, blind to the ramifications of any fucking of anything, knowing the harsh reality but not caring, I cast minor image and euphoria sort of comes to life in front of me, and I just, not willing her to do anything whatsoever, but sitting in the chair, I watch her and hope. Mav is not.
There she is, sitting radiant as always, the glitter of gold through her dark skin. She is the most beautiful woman you have ever known in your whole life, and she stares back at you with an empty, blank expression of arcane illusion.
Say something, please. Anything, just let me know you're here. And I watch again, not actively willing the illusion to do anything whatsoever, letting it try its hardest to do anything that it wants, and I can only assume that time goes by.
For as long as the spell lasts, you are knelt at the feet of the sitting vision of your friend, Euphoria.
And as I can feel it starting to sputter and die, I look up and say, this is for the best. I am where I am meant to be, and you are where you are meant to be. I'm sorry. And I look down, and as the image disappears, oh God, and I just sit there until I hear movement in the homestead, and I take myself to my duties for the day. Fuck you, Lydia.
Wonderful. Okay.
Wait.
Well,
before we do anything, can we have, during this month, have looked at the pile of magical shit that we have?
yes, of course. I realized that you were hinting at that before, and we just skirted straight over it.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
It's just hard because I'm the least arcane person, and we have had a conversation where Lydia went, "Hey guys, don't forget you've got this list," and she said it about 12 times over the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Guys, I said it twice. It's been wild
that's
exaggeration.
about 12.
You are, you don't need to, you know that there's a couple of magical items in there because when you had the dinner, you put the pile of stuff and Mav would have already had detect magic up. And so that's the only thing that would have pinged is these two objects in the pile.
And also this incredibly cool staff.
No, the staff doesn't ping.
Oh. Fuck.
It's just a fancy stick.
Worth a
Stick
try.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives that gentle glow
It's an arcane focus. It's not like a.
that an arcane focus would.
Yeah. Cool.
CC just uses it as what's the word? You know, like cane when you got to make.
I thought you were gonna say like maracas because it's got shells on it.
no. She's just using it like as a walking stick or like.
It's just a stick. It's just a stick she has.
Just a stick.
Back scratcher,
Yeah.
weed whacker, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lydia, you fully fucked up my life. Cool.
Yeah, what do we find then?
I will absolutely identify both of those. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't ask if we
One-
got pearls because we got fucking loads of them.
Do you use one of your pearls?
It's not consumed for identifying.
No, I know it's not consumed, but are you using
I think I would ask Cece
Sure.
whether I could use one of
Yeah.
those.
Which one
Yeah.
do you want?
It's 22 identical pearls.
I'm assuming this is prior to the last fucking ridiculous piece of news.
Yeah, I imagine.
So Mav will be, oh yes, darling, anything, any of them, darling.
I'm going to
No,
say
next
that
week
is
is
actually
Sandman.
that night because that's when it all got moved over. And I'll say also that this, I don't know, Cece, you haven't said that you told them that you're getting pearls every night. Do you think you've been telling them each night as you wake up? You're like, I got a new one. Oh, they stopped.
Do you know what? I think she has, but I don't think she's explained to them exactly how she's getting them.
I
Like
think
she's
it's
going.
over dinner. I got another
I
pearl
got
today.
a pearl, and they're like, all right, cool. Like,
Is that like lady talk for periods? What's that?
yeah, or like.
Or like,
Oh,
she's just really good at finding
one.
pearls.
Yeah, and it's like, no, they appear at night. I don't think she's explained that side of it. Yeah, here.
But yeah, I definitely, I think I ask you whether I can use one of them, and I use one of Cece's pearls.
Okay, then in which case, I'm going to have to tackle this slightly differently. The moment that you cast identify using this pearl, the pearl is not consumed, but Cece, you get this sudden voice in your head that says, help me.
Oh shit!
They are not here yet, but they will be here soon. Help me. And then it's gone.
Oh. I take the pearl back. Or like I give it.
Snatch it back out.
I'm sorry.
Right. Well,
I think Joltis just spoke to me. They need my help. They said something's not here soon, not here yet, but they will be.
Can I make a roll for that? I think I know what you mean, but I think I know what this means. But can Mav roll something?
I don't know what roll what? Roll what?
I don't really know. I'm trying to. I think he's trying to logic out this strange puzzle that that Cece has just told us about.
Oh, I see. Okay. Tell me what your theory is, and then I'll get you to roll intelligence and tell you whether you're right or wrong.
Well, it sounds very much like the voice of someone who was on this island, saying, "They are not here yet. Help me." It sounds like some sort of prayer to something. What it is. Tom thinks that this is the last request of a dying person, but I don't think Mav knows.
Tom,
That's very.
that's very cool. Whether it's right or not, it's very fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm actually not going to get you to roll intelligence. I think if that's what I'm going to equate, that if you've thought that, then Mav's thought that. It's not for me to say to tell you whether you've got it right or wrong because there's no one there to correct you.
Okay.
You did get to you cast one identify, and that that object is the belt, which is this kind of silken corded dark blue belt. It's called the Storm Belt in the D&D Beyond if you want to go and find that.
This is for me, right?
And the other thing is like it's a weird, like almost piece of jewelry, which is like 3 gold bangles that's attached by chains, and there are jewels in each of a jewel in each of the bangles that kind of sits up your arm. And I think that's called the cuff of potency, but I can't really remember what I think that's what it's called. I forget.
These are very interesting. I immediately give the belt to Cece.
Elle has zero interest in silken belts and jeweled cuffs at all. Like he's like, oh y'all can just. I just think it's cool.
Gives the belt to Cece and sort of puts the like cuff on and starts to kind of like dangle it in the light slightly.
It looks absolutely beautiful against your skin, and the jewels that are embedded in it, you can kind of see. It doesn't have that like reflective bedding, so you can see your skin through the jewels. It just looks hot as shit.
Very nice. Just out of interest, because like a toddler on Christmas morning, I've taken the incredibly expensive toy car out of the packaging, and I'm far more interested in the box currently. I would ask to use one of the other pearls for the second identify spell. To CC, and absolutely fine if you're not comfortable. But I have.
Do you allow him to?
I have a theory that I would be interested in.
What are you gonna do exactly? I think as Cece's been like, as Matt's been doing this and like handing her the sash, she's like cradling all of the pearls, like talking to them, like, what do I do? Like, what do you want me to do?
My darling, I have a hypothesis that I would like to see if it is true before I tell you my hypothesis.
Okay.
I promise I don't want to harm whatever you have there. I just want to see if I'm correct.
Okay. Do it, but I think Joltish needs our help. But yeah, here.
It's okay if your friend needs help. We'll help where we can.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And I use the other one that she's given me.
When you use that one to get the cuff of potency, identify, Cece, in your head, you hear, "They have me. They have me. Help." And it's kind of at this time that you hear footsteps at the doorway of the house, and a kind of like, I'm trying to knock on my own fucking hand like a wanker.
I turn around and see who's there.
It's Shay. He runs in. He's got bare feet. He's wearing pretty much what he was wearing the last time that you saw him, like little waistcoat and a necklace. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I've been away for a little. Well, I've been away. God, fuck. So, did you know that there's things under your island? I don't want to be presumptuous,
No.
but.
Oh yeah. We knew. I got attacked by one.
No!
I think they're hurting my friend. I think they've got my friend.
Listen, I can explain. I don't know if you're in like immediate danger, but it didn't come up the last time that we spoke, but I do feel like I need to kind of make something clear. I kind of assumed that you knew, but now that I'm thinking about it, I should just say it out loud so that we all know.
Say it.
When I helped you when you're on the boat, okay, how do I explain this? I never knew that this place existed. And me and my sister have been traveling around these parts for a while. Like months in this kind of area of waters. And at the time, there were like moments when we would be traveling and then we wouldn't feel good and we'd want to go in a different direction. And then we'd like walk, we'd like swim a little bit further and we'd sort of forget why we changed direction and we just keep walking in that direction. This isn't making very good sense. Anyway, then when we helped you with the boat, with the people that were trying to kill you, and you sailed off, and we were like, oh well, they obviously hated us, but never mind, bye. And then there was a moment when we suddenly kind of forgot about you guys. We were going to follow you a little bit, and then we just went a different way, and we weren't quite sure why. And a couple of hours later, we suddenly remembered that there'd been a boat and there'd been people, and we swam to the island, and we realized that there has been this place that has this kind of barrier that stopped us from going in it. You know, it was down for a little bit. And now, my sister's cleverer than me. I'm so sorry that you've got explain to you, because she's the one that would do a much better job than I am right now. But like, we didn't know about the island. Like, magically, we didn't know about the island. And then suddenly we knew. And now it's like, we can't forget. But I've been watching people coming and going, like these disgusting creatures. Saugen, have you ever heard of these kinds of things? They're like, they've got 2 legs and they've got 2 arms, but they're all gills, and like they're slimy, and they're really, I don't want to be discriminatory, but they're very prone to occult, guys. They're very, very prone to like one-minded things, that they don't ask enough questions. And I've been seeing some of them swimming towards the island. And sometimes they hit the barrier and they go away. And then sometimes they don't. I can't really work it out. My sister was trying to explain it to me. She knows it, like she understands it better. But from what I've been patrolling around the outsides, for like a mile, 2 miles radius in the last couple of days. There are a lot of things that live under the island at the moment, of these Saugans.
Right.
So, like, I don't know why they're not coming up, but they can be really dangerous. I mean, you fought them a month or so ago.
Shay, when you couldn't, like, you'd like turn around, that like magical barrier, do you think that was obviously happening under the water as well, right?
Yes, it's like a kind of a huge sphere. I can't see it. I just like I was thinking about, because basically when we were suddenly aware of the island, we were also suddenly aware of all the times that we turned away from it. And I sort of spent the last like 20 days or so thinking about all the times that we went away. And there's like a kind of fear around the island that kind of puts people off and makes people not remember.
Guys,
And you think that these Sahagin have been attracted to the island since?
I mean,
do you think they've lived there for many years?
No, I think they just appeared.
No, I don't think that. I mean, here's the thing.
I've got to be honest, I don't know which one's worse, but I know that they're both pretty fucking bad.
Look, I
kind of think, they're greedy, generally. And I don't think that people would have been able to live here on this island for years with like a town of Saugen underneath. I don't think that's possible. But knowing what I know, which is once you go through the forest guild, you don't forget again.
Remember when I got attacked? And that person was like, I didn't think it was particularly culty, but you said the word cult, and I was like, oh, that does sound a bit, they were talking about like sacrifices and for someone, doing it for someone.
Yes.
And you know how we're here to like make sure the lighthouse stays? What if there was someone else making sure the barrier stayed up, but now they're in trouble, so the barrier's not up anymore, so now anyone can get into the island?
Oh, I think the barrier's up because I see sometimes, right, so
I can see what you're saying, Cece.
I think they have joltish.
I don't think it's as
Who's
simple as that, no?
Well, I mean, what if everyone that got in when the lighthouse went down?
Yes. It, the, if I may, the thing that worries me the most, I think, currently is that these Sahagin have evidently been attracted to something. What that is, we do not know. But if they are prone to occultism, I rather dread to think what is below this island.
I mean, I don't know how you're feeling about it, but we need to find a way of getting rid of them because they won't. If they attacked poor Cece already, if that won't be the last time.
We have to go down there and fight them. I don't know how that's gonna work because I can't do any spells down there, and I think I'm the best swimmer now.
Jax.
Apart from Jax, obviously. I don't know.
Is now the right time to say that I never got my little duckling's badge?
So important. Everyone does.
Just think about every day that you would have got on that little rowboat across to the farm island and just been shitting your pants because you can't swim.
Which is why it's in the house all the time.
Okay.
Look, so
It doesn't need to be right now, but we need to make a plan because
perhaps I'm catastrophizing slightly, but do you think it's possible that this lighthouse, rather than protecting Ma Iridia from the outside, was rather protecting from what was on this island?
And what, you're thinking that they just drop a bunch of people off every year as kind of like a sacrifice?
Well, no, because people come back, right?
I wouldn't let that happen. That would be terrible.
I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll go down, we'll have a word, we'll see what's going on, and then,
Do you think it might be possible to lure them out onto land?
I could try,
I mean, you can lure most things if you get the right bait.
I am shiny.
I mean, you're plenty shiny.
Cece, you said that you can swim quite well now.
Yeah, I can. I've been swimming a lot. Yeah.
Well, firstly, grand. Secondly, anyone that could swim quite well, it's dangerous, but we could always go on a kind of stealthy,
Like
Recon.
just trying to recce it, I think is the word that you're looking for. I didn't want to put words in your mouth, but
I read it in one of Mav's books.
I think Mav, you might have used the word wrong. I don't want to presume, but
Yes, well, it wasn't me, so.
What?
I think.
Okay, look, what if we go to like the edge, me and Shay will swim down, and Jax, you can be in the boat with like
I just mean Jax should probably go with you.
yeah,
you know?
Jax can come too, and we can like see what's happening and see if we can find anything out, and then we can really formulate a plan, get an idea of numbers, like what they do. Maybe we just ask them. Say, hey, what are you doing? I can't speak underwater, but Shay, you can. Can you speak to them?
I can, but I'm You are so good at talking to people. Like, the mom even said hello to me that night. I was like, she's the best. And when I talk to people, they just go, okay, it's Tim.
Right, well, maybe we lure one. Maybe, what if we kidnap one? You know, like Mav, you know in one of your books when, like, the, like, princess gets kidnapped so they can find information.
Yes. 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 I think yes. 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 Do you think that this spindly bint that tried to trap you is in some way in on this? Because
Who's spindly bint?
we've got a lot to catch you up on. This long fingered Mac Daddy. This vertigrade menace that tried to sick a shark of all things on our good friend Cece and tried to kill her. In all of her brash and brawn, Cece was able to escape with nary but her life in her own hands. I would wager that if you managed to best her the first time, perhaps, especially with our good friend Shay here's help, we could capture her. We know that she can speak to us, or speak to you at the very least.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we capture her and question her, maybe we can get some form of. And you know where she lives, in a bloody cave of all things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah. First thing tomorrow morning, though, because we just ate a lot and I'm feeling a little bloated.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I think what we'll do is you guys all go to bed. Shay actually requests that he stay with you rather than sleeping in the water.
Yeah.
For like safety's sake. And we'll start tomorrow. Well, we'll start next week with tomorrow morning stealth mish.
Holy
Wonderful.
shit, Lydia.
Damn.
Thank you, Lydia. Absolutely fuck you for trying to kill my crab.
Yeah.
Only a couple of things. Thanks, Automatic Flash, for resubscribing. Thanks, What Now, for hosting. Strawberryus for following. Amazalistic following. And Riffenzelk for following and for the attempt at a raid. Thanks to Twitch's wonderfully, definitely working platform. Thank you, all of us. Thank you to all of you. And thank you to Lydia. Dragon Age tomorrow at
3
p.m. BST. And join us again next week for maybe some answers. Maybe some more Dandelion Ghost. Definitely more crab content.
Yeah. Oh.
Love you all.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.